is Eddie Alvarez's last game this year with the Mets. Who knows what the Mets can do today? They could have a little fun, go out and beat the Braves. They don't even need to. But when it's game time, it's Tully time. The first pitch is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew during today's game. And I'm laughing because, well, what an emotional roller coaster for the team to come out and play another game. Well, what about for us? Here we are again, Howie Rose, as we get set for Game 2 of this doubleheader, and officially the final regular season game of 2024.
Well, I'll tell you what age and experience allows. It allows me to bring in young Pat McCarthy a little bit later in this game as Luis Angel Acuna leads off and hits the first pitch down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play, and the count 0-1. So we'll do a bit of a spring training type deal here today. I'll open this thing, do the first inning, come back in the 8th and 9th, and you and Pat will have all kinds of fun.
The opener and the closer.
Yeah, well, I guess so. But you know what? First of all, Pat deserves the reps. I mean, he's had a great year, as you have, working together and carrying me when I'm on the road and unable to perform, as they say. The 0-1 to Acuna, fouled off to the right and out of play, 0-2. But, you know, the other side of that is I got to catch my breath. That was just an unbelievable game.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that you said it's so happy and lucky that we have you here for it.
Michael Harris takes high, or at least, see what I mean? Acuna takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But it's our ability to sit back and allow you to contextualize just what we saw today, which was history.
1-2 pitch, taken outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Acuna, who's done a really nice job. And, of course, after this game, the Mets are going to have to set their roster for the wild card series. They won't have Eddie Alvarez. I would imagine Acuna will be on it. Speed and defense for sure. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed strike 3. So Grant Holmes, who has a chance to write himself into Braves lore today, comes up with a strikeout to get it started. And Starling Marte will be next. And how about Marte with that big hit in the top half of the 9th inning? A 1-out single, setting it up for Lindor. And Lindor didn't waste any time going after the first pitch. Pitch to Marte, swung on. Mets may do a lot of this. First ball swinging, popped up down the first base line, fair ground, Olsen over, and he makes the catch, 2 men away.
Now that was Jose Iglesias, so we got maybe fooled there. I have Marte in my book too, but Iglesias just popped out.
Well, for one thing, Iglesias extended his hitting streak to 21 straight games in the 8th inning. And is he the designated hitter? I don't know. We're just going with what we've been given, and it was wrong. So here's Brandon Nimmo. First pitch, taken for a called strike, 0-1. Nimmo with a long 2-run homer to make it 6-3 in the top of the 8th. The 0-1, bouncing ball foul. Back to the screen, and the count 0-2. And let's face it now, the Mets are just worried about the Mets. So their focus is going to be different in this game. They're going to be doing a lot of first ball swinging. They want to party at the end of this one. The 0-2 swung on and missed strike 3, side retired. So the Braves, knowing that, will see what they can do against Joey Lucchesi and who knows who else. But Grant Holmes pitches a 1-2-3 first. Middle of the first. Mets nothing. Braves coming up on Odyssey Mets Radio. Driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Discover the legacy of luxury at Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura. With over 35 years of excellence. Explore the latest lineup, the new 2025 Acura Integra MDX, the 2024 Acura RDX and TLX, and the new all-electric ZDX. You can also explore our diverse selection.
Hey baseball fans, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this MLB playoff matchup. Please take a second and hit that thumbs up, hit that like button down below. Take a second, exit out of the chat, hit that thumbs up. It helps bring more fans here into the chat to hang out with us during every single game because we're going to be live every single MLB playoff game. going forward in the month of October, as well as the end of the World Series in November. So, with that being said, let's get back to the chat. Hit that thumbs up button so more people can come hang out with us. And if you're inclined, please share the link. That is the best way outside of the like button to bring more people here into the chat. Put it on the social board, social media, whatever. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back to the baseball. Good luck to whatever team it is that you're cheering for.
Tankless water heaters, the world's best built tankless water heaters. Learn about both at peerlessboilers.com. And remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best built boilers.
Well, we go to the last of the first inning. Joey Lucchese will take over on the mound for the Mets. Master of the churve, or at least the thrower of the churve. Sometimes he masters it, sometimes he doesn't. 27 games, 17 starts in AAA, went 5-7 with a 4.70 earned run average. And he's going to face Michael Harris, the second to lead off. And again, this is a stunned Atlanta team that needs to recoup, recover, and do it immediately. Lucchese's first pitch on the outside corner, a called strike, 0-1 to Harris. And note, too, that, Joey Lucchese, he's trying to make a little showcase for himself here. Games on national television. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball up the middle. Acuna diving to his left, has it from the outfield grass, throws to first, a stretch by Alonso, he's out! What a play by both Acuna and Alonso, as Acuna, the understudy to Francisco Lindor, ranges far to his left, smothers the ball, and has enough time and oomph to get up and throw to first, and Pete Alonso had all he could do to hold on to the bag of the ball. He made a play like that Pete did in the first game, and to Alonso's credit, he has now played in all 162 Mets games this year. Here is Ozzie Albies, and the first pitch taken outside for ball one. Now Lucchese's 1-0. Swing and a fly ball to right. Not deep. Moving over Taylor, and he makes the catch. And there are two men away. So Albies going after the first pitch, flies out. And that's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Marcell Ozuna. And you hear this crowd? Neither do we.
I can hear a pin drop here.
Yep.
I do wonder, too, with just the Braves that, they need this, they're going to play hard. But how long will it take till they can shake off the emotions of Game 1? It's mentally draining with what they just went through.
You bet. First pitch to Ozuna, taken for a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. That Mets defensive alignment, Alonso at first. Eddie Alvarez at second. Luis Angel Acuna at short. Vientos at third. 0-1 to Ozuna. Change up outside, or whatever you want to call it. It's 1-1. In the outfield, it is Nimmo, Bader, and Taylor left to right, with Luis Torrens catching. 1-1. Swing and a miss and a fastball. And it's 1-2 to Ozuna. Ozuna once again the designated hitter, as he has been all year for the Braves. He's had a big year, but trying to ensure that it's not over today. If the Braves win, they go to San Diego. If the Mets win, well, they go to San Diego. Here's the 1-2. Churve in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
How many socks do you have left, by the way, on this trip?
I got plenty of them, but as far as clean ones go, that's another story.
Been on the road since last Sunday. Not yesterday, the week before that.
And there's more where that came from. At least another 2 or 3 days. And maybe more. Wouldn't rule anything out with this club now. 2-2 pitch. Ozuna tries to hold his swing and a fastball up. He did not go, and it's 3-2. Matt Olson is waiting on deck. Two out, nobody on, no score, bottom one. Lucchese, right leg kick deal, swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. Now we just saw the defensive play of the game, sponsored by the New York City Department of Corrections, looking for a new career. Search City Exams and go to Corrections Officer to register for a test today. Cunha combining with Alonso. So now the payoff pitch on the way. Ozuna takes high and away, ball 4. And that'll get the crowd back into it a little bit. And so with 2 out, Matt Olson, left-hand hitter, will be the batter.
You can see out of the bullpen, the Mets bullpen in left field, there's somebody leaning over the top wall there. That is the artist known as Luis Severino, just going to get a little throwing in. He's not needed until at least tomorrow in Milwaukee, and what a happy Severino he might be.
Man, that was such a big ramification of that first game win. First pitch to Olson, breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1. Now the Mets have their starters potentially all lined up pitching on regular rest for the next series, wherever it is. It would have been totally different had they lost that first game. The 0-1 take it inside 1-1. Now, not having to use Severino means he comes back tomorrow potentially on full rest, as does Manaea on Wednesday, and if necessary, Quintana on 4 on Thursday. The 1-1 breaking ball over a called strike, 1-2 to Olson. He extended his on-base streak to 20 consecutive games with a single in the first game. Ozuna at first, 2 out. No score, bottom 1. The 1-2 to Olson. Swing on a chopper foul, rolling up the first baseline. Jorge Soler waiting on deck. We had a shower, as had been predicted during game 1. Didn't last long. It's overcast again. The lights are on. Not raining, though. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball away, 2-2. Lucchesi sets 2-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called. He got him with a fastball, side retired. No runs, no hits. No walk. 1 left at the end of 1. Mets nothing, Braves nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
What is
A new generation of hip-hop superstars was born on SoundCloud.
What's up? This is Cash Cobain.
There's Lil Tyler. This is doing no baby.
Stay connected to what's popping online.
Now. Let's get it.
With the Sirius XM channel, where new hip-hop is always on.
SoundCloud Radio.
Yeah! Clear the runway, because we about to take off on SoundCloud Radio.
Listen in the car or at home with your Sirius XM app.
What's 2FA security on Kraken? Let's say I'm captaining my soccer team, and we're up by a goal against, I don't know, Soda Springs FC. Do we relax? No way. Time to create an extra line of defense and protect that lead. That's like 2FA on Kraken, a surefire way to keep what you already have, safe and sound. Go to Kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Interactive Inc., PWI DBA Kraken. View PWI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Mets nothing, desperate Braves nothing. Pat McCarthy joins Keith Radd for the next few innings.
Thank you, Howie. Pete Alonso leads off against Grant Holmes. First pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike. 0-1. So Pete Alonso now, member of the full 162-game club, joining 2 other Mets that have ever done the full gamut of 162. Next pitch, wave and a miss at a dirt ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Felix Millan, 1975, and John Allroot in 1999 have played the full 162, and now Pete Alonso can join them. It is an Iron Man award, an achievement like no other, and I know Francisco Lindor tried to join him until his back gave out. 0-2, swing and a miss. Holmes snaps off a slider. Down goes Alonso, 1 away. Second inning is powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. So 4 up and 4 down for Grant Holmes. And here's Starling Marte, scoreless game, top 2. Holmes, the long-haired righty, deals. Now Marte takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Now the Braves, if they again win and they do get in, they are still scary as far as who they can pitch, even though who knows how out Chris Sale is. The 0-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, and it's 0-2. Of course, we just saw what Spencer Schwellenbach can do. The rest of the league over 21 starts has seen that too. Reynaldo Lopez can pitch, and if Sale is healthy at all, they would love to get him in there. But if he's not in there today, that kind of leads you to believe he's really hurt. 0-2. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Picked up by Murphy, and Marte just packs his bags and heads back to the dugout without running. There's no need to push it here. Strikeout, 2 down in the second.
Well, if that's any indication of how the Mets are going to approach this game, I think it's pretty obvious.
No reason to get hurt, no reason to push it. They've got a wild card series starting tomorrow. And again, if they win this game, they'll be going to San Diego, which is not a short flight. So here's Taylor, no score, top 2. First pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Mets baseball brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact a dealer for a great deal today or visit tryhondadealers.com. Infield back for the Braves. Pitch. Taylor swings and misses at a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Taylor with a huge at bat, a huge game, obviously an emotional masterpiece for the Mets. Sarah Langs tweeted out the win probability graph after the first game. A 1-1 check swing and a pitch. He went around. It's 1-2.
How many we's?
A lot of people say we all had an EKG with that graph. Up and down and up and down. There were blown saves on both sides in the box score. 1-2 on Taylor. Holmes fires. And a pitch lifted in the air right center field. Harris over with Soler. It's Harris making the call and the catch to retire the side. Holmes has retired all 6 he's faced. We go to the bottom of the second in Atlanta. No score, Mets and Braves on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
The bottom of the second is the perfect time to brew up a cup of your favorite Bigelow tea and take a moment just for you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.
Play $10 million cash from the New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
VIP stands for Very Important Person. That's how we value each one of our customers, patrons, and clients at VIP Honda. Honda's first all-electric vehicle, the Prologue, is now here. Hybrid technology is offered on the new 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid and Honda CR-V Hybrid. All new 2024 Honda models come with complimentary 24-month 20.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, the one that's hanging out and listening to the MLB playoff game with us. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Now, please help our community grow and hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single MLB playoff game in this season. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, turn that bell on so you don't miss it when we go live. Hit that subscribe button so that we can continue this growth path. 40K, we just passed 40,000 subscribers last night. It's time to keep on pushing towards 50K. Thank you for being here for the MLB playoffs. Good luck to your team, and we'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you.
Potential, however, could be. To build a championship team, you have to consider each draft pick, minor league prospect, and free agent acquisition. If you see the potential in one player, you can build potential in the whole team. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Bottom 2 in Atlanta, no score, Mets and Braves. Jorge Soler leading off against Joey Lucchesi, making the spot start. The lefty deals his first pitch. That's down and in with ball 1-2 Soler. Again, for Joey Lucchesi, he's getting called up for this one, but the Mets have no intention of adding him to the playoff roster or bringing him along. Just getting a chance to make a start as the Mets save their arms. The 1-0, a little bit low, 2 balls and no strikes. So Lucchesi's going to give it his best, and I'm sure because you still have a regular bullpen that the Mets will take with them to either Milwaukee or San Diego, and Carlos Menedo does not want to use all those guys. 2-0. outside, ball 3. So Lucchesi will be pushed and pushed because after this for Joey, it is the offseason. So he's going to let it all out. And the Mets still need their bullpen again tomorrow, all those guys. And there were a lot used in game 1. High kick, now the 3-0. Soler takes a strike, 3-1. Mets use Huáscar Brazabat, Adam Ottavino, Phil Maton, and Edwin Diaz. And it was Diaz on the mound getting the final out of the game. 3-1. Fouled back, 3-2 on Soler. Now, as far as the playoffs are concerned, starting tomorrow, take a look at the scoreboard update. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. The AL is set. The NL is, again, still not totally set in stone. 3-2 to Soler. Flight in the air to deep right field. Taylor going back to the track, looks up, off the high brick wall, stays in play, bounces away from Taylor. Soler to second. He stops there. Taylor fires in. A double the other way for Jorge Soler. And it's just something right now. Certainly Taylor went after that ball as hard as he possibly could. Tried to race to it, to throw it in. But it's so strange to see a team on one speed against a team that is playing with house money right now. The Mets are in. They just won. They're ready to pop bottles. The champagne is on ice. As soon as this game is over, they will celebrate whether they win at all or lose 100-0. They don't care. But the Braves are full speed here. So here's Laureano at a big first game. Right-hand hitter. First pitch. Fouled away to the right side for strike 1. So the AL tomorrow at 2:30. That's the first playoff game. The Tigers are in Houston for 3. Tarek Skubal, who looks like he'll win the AL Cy Young, against Framber Valdez. Here's the 0-1. Misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike on Laureano. Kansas City at 4 o'clock is in Baltimore. 3 games against the Orioles. Corbin Burns for the O's against Cole Reagans for Kansas City. Lucchesi's 1-1. Bounces up there, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Just the way it finished, Kansas City was here with the Braves. That series over the weekend that just finished. Royals lost 2 out of 3. Again, the Royals had clinched. They got help to clinch. The Braves needed to win, so they put the pressure on the Royals. But Royals could have gone to a couple different places. 2-1, that's high to Laureano. 3 balls and a strike. But again, the seeding ends. And Kansas City is in Baltimore. Here, bottom of the second inning, no score, Mets and Braves. Runner at second base, nobody out. 3-1 to Laureano. We'll have to wait as Lucchesi spins for the inside move and looks Soler back to second. On the AL side, the Baltimore-Kansas City series, whoever comes out of that will go to the Bronx to play the Yankees. 3-1. Ripped down the left field line, but pulled foul into the netting, and it's 3-2. Houston and Detroit, as we told you, they have the first game tomorrow. The winner of that best of 3 goes to Cleveland. The Yankees got the top seed, Guardians the second seed. Houston is that third division winner with the lowest record of the 3. Lucchesi's payoff got him swinging, high inside heater. So Laureano down on strikes. And again, remember, is this, if you're a Mets fan, you're kicking back, relaxing. You might not even be here with us anymore. You're ready for the playoffs. And if you're the Braves, you've got a runner in scoring position here. Do or die right now, Pat.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's half these people here were really hoping that they could leave after game 1, but the ballpark is still relatively crowded.
Here's Urshela, former Yankee. First pitch goes to the backstop over Terenz's head, off his glove. A throw to third. Soler slides in safely, and he's there on the wild pitch. And Jose Iglesias, who covered the bag, is coming up hobbling just a little bit. Terenz made the throw, and Soler slid into Iglesias' leg. He's walking it off. But again, that's just one where you go, not necessary if you're the Mets. Iglesias actually stumbled over Soler's body and then went hobbling. Eddie Alvarez is playing second base for this game. Vientos is the one that gets off his feet. And who knows if Iglesias plays the first 4 innings and then they go to Vientos. Who knows how the Mets play this to try to get their guys some rest before tomorrow. Now the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, and it's 2-1. Then get on the National League side. 5:30 Eastern time start in, 5:30 start time in Milwaukee for the game tomorrow. 8:30 start in San Diego. 2-1. Fisted in the air, shallow left field. Nimmo comes on, but it dunks in a hit, and the Braves are on the board. Urshela with a bloop single brings in Soler, and Atlanta with a much-needed 1-0 lead. And we could just see the way Nimmo charged that ball from left. He was not going 100%, Pat.
Brendan's talked often about having to pick and choose your spots to go for a ball. I would have to imagine he did not have to think very hard about that one.
So here is Sean Murphy, the righty catcher. 1-0 Atlanta, bottom 2. Pitch missed inside with ball 1. Second inning, by the way, is powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. The future isn't scary. Not realizing its potential, however, could be. Invesco QQQ, let's rethink possibility. Runner at first, 1 out. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And you know, while the Mets are relaxed, Madge is always on his toes. Madge caught something that I misread somewhere, which was the fact that John Olerud also played 162 games with the Mets, which is factually accurate. 2-0. That is a little bit high. 3 balls and no strikes. And even though John Olerud on Baseball Reference has the bold 162 and the italic, which would signal the most of anybody in baseball that year, he did not play 163 games, which is what the Mets played in 99. 3-0, that's it for a strike. 3-1. And so, as I mentioned that, I got a strongly worded letter from Chris Majkowski, and I'm sure Baseball Reference will get a strongly worded letter from him too.
Well, so theoretically, he probably did lead the league in games played. Just saying.
The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Murphy walks. So in the bottom of the second, Braves in a must-win game. They have a run in. They have first and second and 1 out for Orlando Arcia. So that year, 163 was the game where they had the game 163 in Cincinnati. Al Leiter pitched that game. That was the 99 season. That was Olerud's last season, and it was the only time he played 162. But he missed 1 game that year, and amazingly, it was the game where the Mets wore their Mercury Mets uniforms.
He hated them that much?
I guess. He pulled I guess you'd say a Chris Sale. Here's Arcia. I'll explain that in a second. 1 out, and the first pitch, Arcia takes low for ball 1. I think Chris Sale was with the White Sox. Of course, he's not pitching today due to back spasms, but Chris Sale was with the White Sox 1 game, and they were supposed to wear specialty jerseys. And well, Chris Sale decided they're not going to wear those jerseys. The 1-0 popped in the air right side of the infield. Alvarez goes back. The infield fly rule coming on. Alvarez makes the catch in shallow right. 2 down. Well, the White Sox said, yeah, here's your jerseys, and they stacked them all in their lockers on hangers, nicey nice. And what did Chris Sale do before the game? He went in there with a scissor, and he literally ripped up his jersey and basically showed the tattered jersey to the front office and said, see, now we're not wearing them tonight. That is a real story. First and second, here's Harris. And the pitch in the dirt with ball 1. I know that there are some traditionalist Met fans out there. There is 2 seats to my left who also thinks that sometimes there should be a pair of scissors taken to some new threats every once in a while in that Mets clubhouse. But whoever that person is all smiles here today.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Here's the 1-0 to Harris. Fisted foul to the Met dugout. And it's 1-1, and Jason the Bat Boy puts his hands on John Gibbons' shoulders. And not everybody, even on the field, needs to watch out for the playoffs. John Gibbons, you've got to make sure you take care of Gibby.
We cannot lose Gibby before the playoffs. If that happens, I mean, just I don't even want to think. Imagine if we lose Gibby.
As long as he's all right for Sunday.
We need Sundays with Gibby.
That's all that matters.
The 1-1. Harris hits it, foul down the first base line, 1-2.
As long as the Mets are all right Sunday.
It's true. If we get another Sundays with Gibby, that means we're in a very good position.
So the way that, again, the Mets, if they go to Milwaukee, which, again, if Atlanta, they're up 1-0, they win. That's the split of the doubleheader. That would mean the Mets go to Milwaukee. They would move into the bracket that would include Philadelphia. 1-2. Harris fouls it back. Staying alive here with 2 on and 2 out. The Dodgers won the top seed in the National League, so they're the 1. They will play the winner of the 4 versus 5. which right now, if Braves win, would be Braves against San Diego, winner gets the Dodgers. Mets and Brewers, winner gets the Phillies. That would start Saturday in Philly. The 1-2 to Harris. Bounces up there, blocked by Terens. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Lucchesi right now has given up a run. Currently at 44 pitches. He is again on a very long and loose leash today. It is a Mets dugout. Every time the SNY cameras cut to it, someone's smiling, someone's laughing, someone's having a conversation. They're playing through the memory they just made. 2-2, fouled back by Harris. He stays alive. Harris grounded out to short his first time. A beautiful diving play by Luis Angel Acuna, who's in there at shortstop right now, giving Lindor the game off. And Lindor, another one that tried to play the full 162. But his back wouldn't let him. 2-2. Line foul to the left. That stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now that 162 is really important to Francisco Lindor, but as he realized physically, because he missed 11 days, it was much better for him to rest up for a moment like today than push it earlier in the injury. 2-2 again. Grounded to second base. Alvarez down to field. Sets, slings to first in time, inning over. So the Braves do grab a run, but leave a little bit of meat on the bone. And take a 1-0 lead over the Mets to the 3rd inning on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
To truly go inside the game of pro football, you need to see things from the player's perspective.
Let's go!
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, catch the Player's Point.
Let's go! Great energy!
Join NFL tight end Colin Thompson and Miami Dolphins fullback Alec Ingold as they break down the biggest stories in the NFL.
It's an encouraging way to look at football.
The Player's Point, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio, Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the Sirius XM app.
Down the sidelines, midfield. It's a race. Picking them up, putting them down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team, and they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the 2nd or 3rd concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Sirius XM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on Sirius XM 89 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Back coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. 1-0 lead for Atlanta. Mets have already clinched their spot today. They beat Atlanta in Game 1, 8-7. If you missed it, well, sorry. It was one of the greatest games we've ever seen. Here's Harrison Bader leading off against Grant Holmes. First pitch swinging. Fouled away down third for strike 1. And so in this second game, as the Braves lost Game 1, we anticipated seeing Chris Sale, who again is not making the start. Instead it is the long-haired right-hander Grant Holmes. The pitch to Bader. He takes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. I would liken Grant Holmes' mustache and long hair to the Aha Shake Heartbreak era of Kings of Leon from the mid-2005s. If you know that, you know what Grant Holmes looks like. Kind of like Taper Jean Girl. Here's the 1-1. It's a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You just couldn't resist yourself, could you?
It's a good look for Grant Holmes. It's almost as if he's mixing eras, too, with it's not a mullet. It's just long, curly hair and a mustache that goes from the chin up and around. 2-1. Bader fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's actually a former top pick of the Oakland Athletics way back when. It took a long time for him to get here. I should say the Dodgers. He had come up with Oakland because he was traded from the Dodgers to Oakland, but he was a 22nd overall pick out of high school 2014. Next pitch to Bader is outside. And the count full. Bader, Torrens, and Alvarez due up here in the third inning. Mets down 1. Playing with house money. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bader. That's 7 in a row retired by Holmes to start the game. So Holmes was drafted by the Dodgers 2 years later at the deadline when he was a minor leaguer. He went to Oakland. Dodgers traded Jarrell Cotton and Frankie Montas to Oakland. Rich Hill and Josh Reddick went to the Dodgers. Here's Luis Torrens. This is going on 8 years ago. Pitch is caught on a miss for strike 1. The next year, 2017, Holmes was in Double-A, which is usually being on the precipice of making the major leagues, then maybe the year or two after. He made his major league debut this year. 0-1. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. It's 0-2. So Grant Holmes is truly a great story in the sense he's a high school kid drafted in the first round. It took him years, 10, to get to the major leagues. 0-2 on Torrens, who's catching this second game after Alvarez caught game 1. Pitch. Down he goes. Swing and a miss. And a breaking ball. Well, today, Grant Holmes, he may go out there and throw a perfect game. The way that the Mets are swinging right now, as actively and aggressively as they are, they have no sense in waiting around. They got a flight to catch. To where, they don't know yet. Don't miss a moment at Citi Field in 2025. Get the best seats for the biggest games of the Mets season ticket membership. To learn more, visit Mets.com/memberships. So now Eddie Alvarez, final day of service as a Met. First pitch, lefty takes high with ball 1. Alvarez was traded for by the Mets when they were in Toronto. There was also a series with another big Lindor swing. Remember when he broke up the no-hit bid. Now Alvarez, at the time he came over to the Mets, the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, 1-1. And because that series was in September, it was after August, Alvarez did not qualify to make the postseason roster. Just didn't get over here fast enough. And so Eddie, I don't know what his story is, but I'm sure he'd love to party as long as he can after this game. There's the 1-1. Got him swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Six strikeouts for Grant Holmes. Alvarez calls for time ahead of the 1-2 pitch. We had the Cunha on deck. And his Braves crowd doesn't really know what to feel right now, even though they are winning in this second game, 1-0. Deep breath, now the 1-2. A little bit low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves are happy, I'm sure, just to build an early lead. You never know, you let a team like the Mets just linger around and a ball may fall in here or there. Next thing you know, it's a disaster. Here comes the 2-2 from Holmes. Just missed outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And of course, if the Braves and the Mets both get in, it doesn't have to mean that this is the last time they see each other. Certainly wasn't the last time we saw the Whitley. I'll tell you that much. Payoff. Hit hard on the ground to second. Albies to his right. Backhands it and slings to first in time. Inning over. We've been coming and going and coming and going in and out of Atlanta for the last 10 days, it feels like. Well, Holmes in and out of the third with no trouble. 1-0 Braves. Middle of 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Get more in a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. More selection and more savings. Lease a new 2024 Mazda CX-50 2.5 S Select. Just $199 a month. Or buy with 0% APR financing for 36 months at Ramsey Mazda. Route 17 North in Ramsey. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Excludes tax, title, and registration. 0 security deposit. VIN RN220827. MSRP $32,520. APR $2778 per $1,000 financed.
Craving a tasty burger? Well, Smash Burger has you covered, and Smash Burger is now open at 370 7th Avenue at 31st Street. Enjoy certified Angus beef burgers, signature sides like smash fries, and hand-spun milkshakes. Smash Burger, available for dine-in, takeout, or delivery at smashburger.com.
Let's get moving with Centers Healthcare. Centers Healthcare has a different approach to care. Here, you rehab, relax, recover, and go home. Our state-of-the-art technology empowers your rehab journey with us. Healing from surgery now comes with amenities like Starbucks, smart TVs, and personalized recreation. At Centers Healthcare, what matters most is getting you back to the life you had. Visit centershealthcare.com today or call us at 800-305-9151. Centers Healthcare. We're not just care. We are care that moves you.
Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. The future isn't scary. Not realizing its potential, however, could be. In the game of baseball, the goal is to build a winning team that strives for excellence on the field. And how do you do that? By fulfilling each player's potential for growth. That's like having your bases loaded with your star hitter at bat. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Ozzie Albies leads off for Atlanta, bottom three. Mets, who are playoff bound, have a 1-0 deficit here. Braves have the lead. First pitch is grounded foul down third. The count 0-1. So a spot start for Joey Lucchesi. Mets able to save Luis Severino, who is supposed to start this second game just in case the Mets lost game one. Severino will pick it up and probably get the start tomorrow in Milwaukee. The Mets haven't confirmed that yet, but that seems like the way it'll go. Has a pitch since Tuesday here. 0-1. Albies reaches and pops one up foul down first. It's 0-2. That was the churve from Lucchesi that comes in at 77 miles an hour. Sponsored by Spectrum. A connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. Joey Churve, Joey Fuego, as Joey has been known over his years of pro ball. Came up with San Diego and has been traded over to the Mets. Been here for the last 3 or 4 years. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. Third strikeout for Lucchesi. Pace of the game brought to you by Optimum, the fastest fiber internet in the tri-state. Speeds up to 8 gig. Optimum, where local is big time. Well, on the Mets end, they are 9 up and 9 down after clinching a playoff spot on the offensive side. Meanwhile, the Braves have had a little bit of traffic, but this game moving pretty swimmingly here in front of this kind of muted crowd. Here's Ozuna. That first time is called. And here comes the umpire, Dan Bellino. I think there's a pitch comm issue. He's going to summon Joey Lucchesi down from the mound. What's this little talking to? Here, he's bringing in Luis Torrens. All right, kids, here's the deal. Standing right between them, shoulder to shoulder.
He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
We were just talking about the pace of the game, too. And Lucchesi's pitch comm craps out for a moment. Ozuna climbs in. He has walked in his only trip in this game. After going 0 for in game 1, 0 for 5. Pitch. Down and in. Ball 1. Now, Ozuna, on a personal note, he'd love to hit one more out. He's sitting on 39 home runs. Second most in the National League. Only one more player in the NL hit more. It was a guy by the name of Shohei Ohtani, who hit 54. And now the 1-0 on the inside corner to even the count 1-1. And Ozuna, who hit 40 last year, would love to just have a nice even 40 going into the playoffs this year. Infield back for the Mets. Swung around left against the righty. 1-0 Braves in the third. 1-1. Check swing foul over near Olsen in the on-deck circle.
Kick save and a beaut.
Oh, man. It's up the first baseline, where Olsen slams down the donut that was weighing his bat down and takes a couple of steps to his left. Thank you, Marcel. I will move over now. Glove in front of his face. Lucchesi winds and deals. Misses high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, this Braves crowd is very, very quiet. They were up and down, as we mentioned, in that first game, and they are still, again, looking at a team that could go to the playoffs if they win this game. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. So 4 strikeouts for Joey Lucchesi. But what is one thing that is different about this year for Atlanta is that they're not flying that division flag. They have all those flags out in right center field, above and behind the chop house, the seats, right in an area in front of the battery where you can see, going back to 1872, some of those flags flying to represent some of the divisions that have been won by Atlanta. First pitch to Olsen, popped up foul, and count 0-1. And the battery out there in right field, if you've never been to Truist Park, just the view from behind home plate You have hotel after hotel, and if you look down below, bar after bar, restaurant after restaurant. Really a cool spot. The 0-1. Casey misses high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You ever researched the 1872 season?
Not recently. That is the first flight. Well, we got time today, I'll tell you that. We might have time on a long flight, depending on how this one goes. 1-1. Missed inside, but it didn't miss the umpire. That caught Bellino straight. And now Terens, who just got a talking to by Dan out in front of the mound, is now kind of bashfully kicking himself, going, I just missed saving the umpire, which is job number 3, really, for a catcher. Call the pitches, receive the pitches, but also protect the umpire. We saw the other day in Milwaukee, Ramon DeJesus, a name that not many will forget. Ramon got hit by a pitch that Francisco Alvarez didn't catch. 2-1. Grounded to the right side. Alvarez has got this one and flips to first. That was actually Luis Angel Acuna, who has flip-flop with Eddie Alvarez. Now we go to the 4th inning at Truist Park. 1-0 Braves. We'll keep it up on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets! Hey, it's Andy Cohen. Are you a pop culture fanatic like us? Then Radio Andy is your ultimate pop culture destination. From news-making interviews, I read that Gronk thought that he was going to be in the movie more.
I wish I was in the NFL more.
The deepest dives, high-intensity moments, the hottest takes,
the biggest stars, and all the drama.
I apologize, but I'm not sorry at all.
The ultimate pop culture destination, Radio Andy, Sirius XM 102, and on the Sirius XM app.
What's 2FA security on Kraken? Let's say I'm captaining my soccer team, and we're up by a goal against, I don't know, Soda Springs FC. Do we relax? No way. Time to create an extra line of defense and protect that lead. That's like 2FA on Kraken, a surefire way to keep what you already have, safe and sound. Go to Kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Interactive Inc., PWI DBA Kraken. View PWI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
4th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car today. 1-0 Atlanta as we go to the aforementioned 4th inning, Pat.
Well, thank you very much, Keith. Mets without a base runner here in the 4th, but frankly, that's not really surprising. Grant Holmes back to work against Luis Angel Acuna. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it out to right. It's playable for Soler, who's over into foul territory, but he runs out of room as it hits the netting. Counts no balls and 1 strike. Now, it's not surprising that the Mets don't have a hit because they haven't hit well. It's just because they're swinging pretty much at everything. Mets have nothing to play for in Game 2. Atlanta has everything to play for.
Yeah, there were situations where this whole double seems nothing to play for. The last couple of days we were on pins and needles to find that out.
The 0-1. Swung on, hit the opposite way to right. Soler in a couple of steps. And he makes the catch for the first out. 10 in a row set down by Grant Holmes to start Game 2. Jose Iglesias is next. Iglesias does have something to play for. He's currently on a 21-game hitting streak. Are they playing the wedding march for him?
Maybe the organist is ready for the offseason too here in Atlanta.
Here's the first pitch. Iglesias takes a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. No Chris Sale. He's experiencing back spasms, so it's Grant Holmes who's starting. Sounds like Sale experienced the spasms in his last start. The 0-1. It's in for a strike, and the count's 0-2.
Velocity was down. That scared everybody, and people thought Is it the shoulder? Is it the elbow? And turns out it's the back.
Next pitch from Holmes, skips up to the plate. Count has it 2 balls and 1 strike. But I thought that first pitch was a called strike.
Should be 1 and 2.
We'll see. The pitch from Holmes, outside. See if Diambolino gives us a signal. Scoreboard has 3-1. Diambolino doesn't have anything, so maybe that's right. Pitch from Holmes. Swung on, hit to right. Soler and over to his left. He's underneath it. He makes the catch.
Now we'll never know.
Well, we'll never know. 2 away here in the 4th inning. Brandon Nimmo is next. Hey, Mets fans, when it comes to heating efficiency, Peerless Boilers and Pavilion tankless water heaters are in a league of their own. So go to peerlessboilers.com for more info. And remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best-built boilers. Brandon Nimmo 0 for 1. Went down on strikes against Holmes back in the 1st inning. And the first pitch. High and wide. It's 1 ball and no strikes. It's 1-0 Atlanta in the top of the 4th. What will be interesting is if we get to the 6th or the 7th inning and it remains a close game. The 1-0. Outside, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Carlos Mendoza is not going to manage the game any differently than he intends to. He's going to get guys work that he feels needs work, but he's not going to try and win this game. Can't necessarily say the same thing for the players, though. 2-0. In for a strike, it's 2-1. Breaking ball by Holmes.
Well, there have been a lot of hearts broken by the Braves over the years, and if there's a chance, somebody gets to second and third, base hit gives you the lead. Why not go for it if you're a Met?
2-1. Swing and a miss. Changeup, 2-2. Right? If it's 1-0 all of a sudden in the 7th inning, the Mets get a double. It's not like they're not going to take an extra base if it's there. Little flare single. Mike Sarbaugh gets an RCI. 2-2. Swing and a foul tip. Nimmo down on strikes. Well, that's 12 in a row set down by Grant Holmes to start the ball game. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mets trail the Braves 1-0. This is Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Cork-popping wows, time to dine wows, Pine Barren wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
hey Google, cool down my car.
And,
hey Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $269 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do.
Hey, baseball fans. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this MLB playoff matchup. Please take a second and hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button down below. Take a second, exit out of the chat. Hit that thumbs up. It helps bring more fans here into the chat to hang out with us during every single game. Because we're going to be live every single MLB playoff game going forward in the month of October, as well as the end of the World Series in November. So, with that being said, let's get back to the chat. Hit that thumbs up button so more people can come hang out with us. And if you're inclined, please share the link. That is the best way outside of the like button to bring more people here into the chat. Put it on the social board, social media, whatever. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back to the baseball. Good luck to whatever team it is that you're cheering for.
Bottom of the 4th inning in Atlanta. Braves with a 1-0 lead against Joey Lucchesi and the Mets. Lucchesi's allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Here's Jorge Soler. First pitch. And a curve. Drops to the knees for a called strike. It's 0-1. Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Mets at MLBshop.com, where you can likely get some postseason gear beginning in the next couple of hours. The 0-1. Fastball missed in. 1 ball, 1 strike. I believe most of them say October rise on them. 1-1. Swing and a miss. High fastball. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jorge Soler.
Did I hear, too, yesterday about All-Star Game jerseys are going back to home and
they sure are.
Traditionals.
How big is that?
Oh, finally. That was so weird.
1-2. Skips up to the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The All-Star Game will be here at Truist Park next year. Before every single game, they have a live countdown. What did it say? 288 days or something like that until the All-Star Game today?
The countdown we did not need, but thank you, guys.
It's like a collaboration that we didn't ask for, but we all needed. 2-2. Hit foul and out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Soler, who doubled back in the second inning and then scored on Gio Urshela's base hit, which gave the Braves a 1-0 lead. Those are the only 2 hits allowed by Joey Lucchesi so far. It's 1-0 Braves in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2. Fastball swung on, grounded to the left side. Alvarez circles and fields, taps the glove, sidearms it on to first. In time for the out, there's 1 away. And Ramon Laureano is next. Well, so far, Joey Lucchesi has made it look easy, and following the speed limit can be easy too. Vision Zero reminds you to slow down and watch for pedestrians and cyclists. Here's Laureano, who homered in Game 1. First pitch. Fastball popped up foul. Right side slicing into the seats. And it's no balls and 1 strike. SNY had a shot of the dugout where Francisco Alvarez was hanging out, eating some popcorn, watching Game 2.
He is all of us right now.
The 0-1. Outside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. You know who he's not, though? He is not Mike Hazen, the GM of the Diamondbacks right now.
No, Diamondbacks, as this is 1-0 and it's stressful for the Braves, I can't imagine what the Diamondbacks are going through right now.
1-1 pitch is swung on and crushed down the left field line, hooking towards the corner to the second deck, but foul. And it's 1-2.
I mean, like you said, if this is a 1-0 game and Jose Iglesias needing another hit to extend the hitting streak, hits it out. And you have one team playing relaxed and one team playing so tight, needing this win. Not a good way to play this game.
1-2 from Lucchesi. Down and away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. If I read it correctly, the game plan was for the Diamondbacks to have a workout at Chase Field today. And then, as a team, watch the doubleheader together. 2-2. Breaking ball's low. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Diamondbacks know their options. They're either staying home and their season's over, or they're going to Milwaukee. There's no situation where they can go to San Diego. Payoff from Lucchesi. Swung on, popped up, foul, and out of play to our right. But if you're the Diamondbacks, at what point do you think there's a shot? Because you have to imagine they went into today with no expectations. Payoff pitch. High for ball 4. So a 1-out base runner for Atlanta. But you have to imagine, if you're Torey Lovello, the manager of the Diamondbacks, Mike Hazen, his front office staff, that as soon as you saw Chris Sale was scratched, you had to have at least thought, maybe we do have a chance now. Only to find out that Grant Holmes is perfect through 4 innings.
For now.
Right.
But you're right.
Here's Urshela, who has an RBI. Takes the first pitch high. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
I remember yesterday, Diamondbacks won, the Mets won. Had the Braves won, the Mets would have had to just win 1 game here against a Braves team that would have already been in. So the Diamondbacks got lucky.
Next pitch is high. It's 2 balls and no strikes. The Diamondbacks win was the best case scenario for both San Diego and Milwaukee, because it guaranteed a doubleheader today.
Sure, somewhere Pat Murphy's eating his popcorn just like Alvarez is.
2-0 pitch is inside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And truthfully, a Diamondbacks win yesterday and the Braves loss was just the worst case scenario for Atlanta. Now, they were in the driver's seat needing to win just one at home. 3-0 pitch. Inside for ball 4. It's back-to-back walks. But if you were the Braves, if Arizona had lost yesterday as Jeremy Hefner heads to the mound to talk with Joey Lucchesi, you would not have had to use Spencer Schwellenbach today. You probably would have thrown Grant Holmes. You would have saved Schwellenbach for the wild card series. It's hard to imagine a situation where they have Chris Sale available for the wild card series if he was not available today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that, because that really means he's hurt, because this is a no-doubt must-win. And even if he goes out there and gives you 5, that's all you need from him. The fact that he's not out there at all is not great, but the Braves have done a nice job to really even be around at the end of the year, because they have been so hurt, having lost Ronald Acuna Jr. and Austin Riley and Spencer Strider. The fact that they're even here is a little bit of a mini miracle, but it's because of their pitching. Reynaldo Lopez has been great, and obviously we talk about Sale. Who knows what his status will be for the playoffs.
Here's Sean Murphy. Braves are just hoping to get there. First pitch. Skips up to the plate in the dirt, smothered by Torrens. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Pitching-wise, the Braves are still set up nicely if they can get to the wild card series. They can still throw Max Fried at some point.
Charlie Morton, he's been pitching for
Morton threw yesterday,
20 years. He's around 2.
1-0 pitch. Fastball inside corner, called strike. It's 1-1. Reynaldo Lopez probably available for game 2. Braves with first and second, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 game. Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Torrens. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. At this point, if you're the Mets for Joey Lucchesi, it's all just about getting outs any way you can, which is a tough thing for Joey Lucchesi, because he wants to pitch. He wants to prove that he is a major league pitcher. He was outrighted off the 40-man roster at some point this summer. 2-1. Check swing, called strike. It's 2-2. But he was a guy, when the club broke, that was contending for a starting pitching position. And with the amount of injuries that the Mets have had, you would have thought he would have been an option, but he was hurt, got off to a slow start. 2-2. In tight, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Only made 1 spot start this year. That was in Philly in May, mid-May. The Mets lost to the Phillies 10-5, and obviously remember what May was like. That's the only time Joey Lucchesi has pitched before today this year.
3-2. Swung on, hit to right field, towards the corner, slicing over. Taylor's on the run, cruises to the spot, makes the catch. Neither runner tagged. They all have to retreat. So there's 2 outs, and the Braves still with first and second. Laureano went halfway to third. So did Urshela. Neither runner advanced on a ball that, frankly, you have to be on third base for, you would think.
Well, I think the Braves are going, how many times is Tyrone Taylor going to show up today? This is a ball slicing away from him toward a treacherous part of the field in the right field corner near all that brick and sidewall. They figured maybe Taylor would let this thing go. That Tyrone raced over there and made the catch.
Here's Orlando Arcia with first and second. The pitch. In for a strike. It's 0-1. And if you're Atlanta, you just want to put this game away as fast as you can. You don't want to give the Mets any thought that they can come back and win this game and eliminate you. Lucchesi from the belt, the 0-1. Swinging a sharp ground ball foul, third base side. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes. Now, of course, for that to happen, the Mets need a base runner, which they don't have yet. First and second with 2 outs. 1-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the 4th inning, game 2 of this doubleheader. Lucchesi ready. A long hold from the belt, and the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back to the netting. It's still no balls and 2 strikes on Orlando Arcia. Arcia popped out to second. That was back in the 2nd inning after the Braves had scored on the Gio Urshela base hit. Oh, and 2 the count. And the pitch from Lucchesi inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's already 87 pitches for Joey Lucchesi. The Mets hope to get Lucchesi deep into this game. That's unlikely just with the way his pitch count is trending. The 1-2. High and tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know if that was Lucchesi or Arcia who let out a big groan as that pitch came whizzing by. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, 2 on. 1-0 Braves, bottom of the 4th inning. Braves hanging on to their season by a thread. 2-2. Swing a ground ball towards the right side. Acuna picks it on a hop, sidearms it on to first in time. And Joey Lucchesi in and out of trouble in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits. 2 walks, 2 left. We go to the 5th. 1-0 Atlanta. This is Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
The clash between last year's NFC South champions and their division rival gets Week 5 of the NFL underway. With the Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta, the line opened with the Falcons as a 3-point favorite and a total of 43.5. Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
I think there's value there on Austin Eckler PPR formats.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Well, it's probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Mets fans, this is Carlos Mendoza, and you're listening to Mets Baseball on Sirius XM.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on Sirius XM 89 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
5th inning in Atlanta, we play on here in Game 2. Pete Alonso set to lead off against Grant Holmes in the 5th inning. And the first pitch from the right-hander. Swung on, hit the opposite way to right, falling fast and down. A base hit. That's the first hit for the Mets' first base runner. Against Grant Holmes, it's a leadoff single for Pete Alonso. That's the Mets' first hit of the game, sponsored by Legion Athletics. You don't need supplements to build muscle, lose fat, and get healthy, but the right ones can help. 5th inning is sponsored by Elect 825, building our future. And we're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly.
You're a walking billboard.
I have to practice reading. Here's Marte, first pitch in for a strike. It's 0-1. 1-0 Atlanta in the top of the 5th. Alonso over at first, and the pitch from Holmes. Fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alonso inches off the first base bag, and the pitch in the dirt, smothered by Murphy. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike. Grant Holmes, the 28-year-old from Conway, South Carolina. Home of the Chanticleers, the mascot of Coastal Carolina. 2-1. Up and away. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. For Holmes, this is his 7th start, 26th appearance overall. Braves do have bullpen action. The 3-1. Swung on, popped up foul and out of play, slicing towards foul territory and into the seats. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Marte. With Tyrone Taylor on deck and then Harrison Bader to follow. 1-0 Atlanta, top of the 5th. Game 2 of the doubleheader, Mets and Braves. Payoff pitch. Low. Ball 4. So a base hit and a walk for the Mets here in the 5th. And all of a sudden, the tying runs in scoring position. And the go-ahead runs over at first.
This is kind of what we were talking about. And right now, Brian Snitker has had to make a decision. And, well, he's made his decision. Here he comes for pitching change.
He got 4 scoreless innings from Grant Holmes, but he's going to his pen. This pitching change is sponsored by Hyundai. With a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today.
There's a lot of things out there to help us stay calm in this modern world. Like an app that tells you bedtime stories, one that plays white noise, even one that helps you meditate. At Hyundai, true peace of mind can't be achieved with an app. We think it comes from quality you can count on. That's why every Hyundai vehicle comes with America's best warranty. A 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Safety features like blind spot view monitors and other advanced technology to help you stay safer on the road. We also have 9 2024 IIHS top safety picks to further help you feel confident on your journey. At Hyundai, true peace of mind comes from the quality of our vehicles. But if you still want to meditate, there's an app for that. To test drive one of our award-winning vehicles, visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 1.99% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 661-615-2112 for details.
103 millones de dólares. ¿Qué te parece? You know you ready to play. Sounds grande, grande.
Play the New York Lottery's new Grande Scratch-Off games with prizes up to $3 million or a second chance to win one of 100 VIP trips to Billboard Latin Music Week in Miami. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Right-hander Daysbel Hernandez is the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. He inherits 2 base runners in the 5th inning with nobody out in a 1-0 game. Hernandez, the 28-year-old from Cuba. Braves signed him back in 2017. Spent 5 seasons in the minor leagues before debuting last season and just appeared in 4 games for Atlanta. But so far in 2024, 15 games, 2-0 with a 2.76 ERA. And his first pitch to Tyrone Taylor, 96-mile-per-hour fastball in for a strike. It's 0-1. 33 games for AAA Gwinnett in the International League. The 0-1. Taylor swings and smacks one foul out of play off to our right. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez was recalled on September 11th. It's been back and forth a couple of times. The 0-2. Down and away with a slider. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyrone's 0 for 1. He flied out to center field back in the 2nd inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chased a slider in the dirt. And there's 1 away here in the 5th inning, and center fielder Harrison Bader steps up to the plate. Centers Healthcare would like to remind you that they're not just care, they're care that moves you. Visit centershealthcare.com. 1 out, 2 on, top 5. 1-0 Atlanta, game 2. Mets are in. Braves need to win to be in. First pitch to Bader's down and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Sale scheduled to start game 2, scratched with back spasms. Spencer Schwellenbach dominated in game 1. 1-0 pitch is low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Luis Torrens on deck. 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
It's kind of nuts to now look back and think about game 1 through the eyes of Brian Snitker, who didn't say it out loud, but he knew he was managing that game without Chris Sale in game 2.
3-0 pitch at the knees at 96. It's 3-1.
I mean, that's just crazy and nutty to kind of think about.
What a roller coaster it was. 3-1 pitch. Bader swings and grounds one foul into the Mets dugout. And the count's full 3-2. Mets were so quiet offensively through 7 innings. before Tyrone Taylor won an 11-pitch at-bat against Schwellenbach and chased him from the game. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. Fastball at 96 right down the middle. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hernandez. There's 2 away, and Luis Torrens is next.
Probably the loudest we've heard this crowd in game 2 right there with that strikeout.
Well, think about how emotionally exhausting that game was.
I'm emotionally exhausted myself.
So imagine being a fan watching that as well. First pitch. Torrens takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. They were deflated. The game was over when Brandon Nimmo capped off the rally with a home run. 1-0. In for a strike. It's 1-1. Then all of a sudden, Edwin Diaz is in. All of a sudden, the Braves get a little bit of life. Ozzie Albies, who is adored by this fan base, hits a go-ahead double. 1-1 pitch. Called strike at the knees. It's 1-2. But at that point, Brian Snitker had used all of his high leverage guys. So he went to Pierce Johnson, and Francisco Lindor comes up and just does what he's done all season long. And this place just deflated. 1-2, grounded foul. And I think the emotional reaction from both Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor postgame just spoke to that, of how emotionally invested these guys are. 1-2 pitch, broken back, ground ball to third. Big hop for Urshela, who goes to the bag and beats Alonso for the final out. So the Mets do get their first base runners of the game. A base hit and a walk, but they strand runners at first and second. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Atlanta still ahead 1-0. This is Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets! Bigelow Tea can make the second half of this game even better than the first. Hot or over ice, take a moment just for you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.
Play $10 million cash from the New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There's a lot of things out there to help us stay calm in this modern world. Like an app that tells you bedtime stories. One that plays white noise. Even one that helps you meditate. At Hyundai, true peace of mind can't be achieved with an app. We think it comes from quality you can count on. That's why every Hyundai vehicle comes with America's best warranty. A 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Safety features like blind spot view monitors and other advanced technology to help you stay safer on the road. We also have 9 2024 IIHS top safety picks to further help you feel confident on your journey. At Hyundai, true peace of mind comes from the quality of our vehicles. But if you still want to meditate, there's an app for that. To test drive one of our award-winning vehicles, visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us during this MLB playoff game. The support is absolutely incredible. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing out this link and helping this community grow. We are also running a campaign for a local kids hospital in Toronto, Sick Kids Hospital. It's something that we do here on the channel as a portion of our proceeds goes donated directly to sick kids every single month. So thank you for making a difference in our community just by being here. Now, you can add to that by making a donation. You can click the link that is pinned in the chat or click this QR code and make a donation directly to Sick Kids Hospital in the Create 100K campaign that was recently extended for our Bills campaign as well as NHL Toronto Maple Leafs opening night. Thank you for your support with this as well. Super chats are greatly appreciated. I will list the names up in the live streams, so thank you for that support. It is greatly appreciated. I need all the help I can get trying to do as much sports as possible for you, the fans. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please send those super chats as well as join as a member, and we'll see you guys back in the chat. Good luck to whichever team that it is you're cheering for. Go Jays, go.
Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Play the new scratch-off games for your chance to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. While we know that the Mets will play tomorrow, the question is where and when. But we do know in the American League at 2:32, Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers will take on Framber Valdez and the Houston Astros at Minute Maid. Here's Ozzie Albies, first pitch. Just outside, it's 1 ball and no strikes. At 4:08, the Fighting Jake Eisenbergs and Cole Reagans will take on Baltimore with Corbin Burns on the mound. 1-0 pitch. Swing a ground ball to third. Iglesias has it, and he just flips it across the diamond in time. 2 quick outs for Joey Lucchesi in the 5th inning.
By the way, the Fighting Eisenbergs, as you mentioned, the Kansas City Royals, they were just here. And so as we walk into the booth today, there's a little note from a former Mets broadcaster, Jake Eisenberg. Hello, Mets Radio. Hope you're well caffeinated. See you in late October. Best Jake. Not love, just best.
What does that say?
I don't know.
Here's Marcell Ozuna. First pitch is up and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Also, well caffeinated, this booth? Come on.
Never a problem. Bigelow tea, baby. And others.
1-0 pitch to Ozuna. Swing a ground ball to third. Iglesias plays back, spins, fires high, but in time. Marcell Ozuna was not running very hard for the final out in the 5th inning. 1-2-3 for Joey Lucchesi. We go to the 6th. Atlanta with a 1-0 lead. This is Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
It's the sound of where you've been and who you are. And SiriusXM has channels for every era of classic country. New Millennium hits are on Y2 Country, Channel 57. The 80s and 90s play all day, every day on Prime Country, Channel 58. And Willie's Roadhouse, Channel 61 is honky tonk heaven. Classic country curated by the legend Willie Nelson. Listen to all these and more across SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription? What? Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Mets fans, this is Carlos Mendoza, and you're listening to Mets Baseball on SiriusXM.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
All right, we're back here in Atlanta as we get set for the top of the 6th inning. Mets trail the Braves 1-0, Keith.
Eddie Alvarez facing Dice-Bell Hernandez. First pitch, wave and a miss. At that slider down and in, the count 0-1 on Eddie Alvarez. Mets go 9-1-2, and again, they're just hanging around right now. Literally have no need to win this game. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. What a win does, though, for the Mets, who are down 1-0, is on the one hand moves them to take on the San Diego Padres, and on the other side of that coin, they would eliminate the Atlanta Braves. So that long-time rivalry, what'll happen today? 0-2, that's down and in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Eddie Alvarez. So right now, the Braves really, really need to win this game. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are out in Phoenix, I don't know if they're sitting on the plane on the tarmac. 1-2. Bounces up there, and he hit Alvarez. So try to slide it down and into the lefty, and it bounced and hit Eddie in the leg. And so he's on at first base. It's all of a sudden the tying run in a game the Mets are just letting come to them right now. The Braves and Brian Snitker have their bullpen up. They have a lefty. Again, in game 1, Snitker used Joe Jimenez, Raisel Iglesias, Aaron Bummer as his 3 high leverage guys. Here's Acuna. First pitch is outside with ball 1. The Mets just about an hour and a half ago jubilant. Winning game 1, 8-7. Heading to the playoffs. The 1-0. Strike at the top of the zone, 1-1 on Acuna. So I'm sure some of those players right now, again, they have not officially celebrated yet, and they certainly haven't checked their phones yet. 1-1 is skied down the right field line. Foul ground outside of first. Here comes Olsen to make the catch. One away, and as that ball went over to the right side near the first base dugout, there's a gentleman sitting on top of the railing right near the camera well who was waving the previous batter away. That's what you call the older brother. As Ronald Acuna Jr. waving his little brother Luis Angel just popped out. What is that? Well, Acuna Jr. is 0 for 3. Here's Iglesias. First pitch is outside with ball one. 1-0 Braves. Top of the 6th. Iglesias would love just one more hit. Chance to push his hitting streak to 22 games. Spinning a throw to first. And back is Alvarez on the head for his dive. Iglesias has popped out and flown out to right. Hernandez deals. Swinging a shot down the right field line. Slicing foul to the back of the lower seating ball. It's 1-1. Step up to the plate with Mets Connect, the New York Mets loyalty program. Join now for free at MetsConnect.com to earn points and enjoy exclusive benefits. The 1-1, that's served in the air to right. Soler to his right makes the catch for the second out, and Eddie Alvarez goes back to first. And here comes Brian Snitker. So Dice Bell Hernandez is all done, and I handed a card to Madge. I moved my chair back and forward, and now I have to go back to see Madge again for the pitching change. Brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win.
There's a lot of things out there to help us stay calm in this modern world, like an app that tells you bedtime stories, one that plays white noise, even one that helps you meditate. At Hyundai, true peace of mind can't be achieved with an app. We think it comes from quality you can count on. That's why every Hyundai vehicle comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Safety features like blind spot view monitors and other advanced technology to help you stay safer on the road. We also have 9 2024 IIHS top safety picks to further help you feel confident on your journey. At Hyundai, true peace of mind comes from the quality of our vehicles. But if you still want to meditate, there's an app for that. To test drive one of our award-winning vehicles, visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 1.99% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 661-615-2112 for details.
103 millones de dólares. ¿Qué te parece? You know you ready to play. Sounds grande, grande.
Play the New York Lottery's new Grande Scratch-Off games with prizes up to $3 million or a second chance to win one of 100 VIP trips to Billboard Latin Music Week in Miami. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Now back in the top of the 6th inning in Atlanta, where the Mets trail 1-0 in a game that they do not need to win. They don't even need to see it end, but they're playing in it anyway. They've already clinched and punched their ticket to the playoffs that begin tomorrow. But right now the Braves really need to win, because if they win, they're in. If they lose, they go home. And if they go home, the Diamondbacks would then be in. So Brian Snitker managing this with his life on the line here, has gone with the lefty Dylan Lee against lefty Brandon Nimmo. Mets have a runner at first base. That's Eddie Alvarez. Left on left. First pitch from Lee. Nimmo lines one to right field. That's a base hit. Alvarez gets to second, takes a turn, heads for third. Soler's throw is wide, and Alvarez slides into third. Brandon Nimmo sticking his nose in there here. Has singled and set up first and third with 2 outs for Pete Alonso. This is, again, a situation that could be nightmare fuel for the Braves.
This is absolutely stunning, yet at the same time magnificent.
I mean, if you're a Mets fan, you are just watching this going, could they? Would they? Will they? Yeah, they could. And then Madge has better get his suntan lotion for San Diego, I'll say that. If the Mets do eliminate Atlanta, they will go to San Diego. If they lose, they'll go to Milwaukee. Pitch to Pete. Bouncing ball to third. Urshela's got it. Slings across. In time, inning over. Well, the light bulb flashed for a moment there, but the Braves get out of trouble. Mets leave a pair. We go to the bottom of the 6th at Truist Park. 1-0 Braves on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Beach wows, mountain wows, and show-stopping wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
When you need commitment, compassion, and customized care, Margaret Teets Nursing and Rehabilitation envelops you with a warm and welcoming environment. Offering short-term and long-term care, Margaret Teets Nursing and Rehabilitation is a trusted hospice care known for their groundbreaking alternative holistic services and music therapy. Call 718-298-7800. That's 718-298-7800.
When you care about somebody, you only want the best.
If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low-price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone, dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for Mets Radio listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil or service? Call the Home Heating Oil line now to see how much you can save off your home heating costs. Don't wait. There is no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Matt Olson leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch is fouled back for strike 1 on Olson, with Soler and Laureano to follow. Bottom of the 6th in Atlanta, 1-0 Braves. Joey Lucchesi had 94 pitches. He's getting pushed to the brink here. 0-1 is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. But this is in some ways a dream start for any minor league pitcher. Lucchesi's had a lot of big league starts in his time. But basically, the Mets are saying throw until you can't throw anymore. Here's the 1-1. Olson pops it up, third base side, toward the third base dugout. Iglesias over to the railing. It's out of play, and it's 1-2. The Power Report is sponsored by Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura on Route 22 in Bridgewater, New Jersey. No power in this game, simply a bloop RBI single for Gio Urshela to bring in Jorge Soler. That was the only run that Lucchesi has given up. Came in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The windup and the 1-2. Just missed outside. Olson very close. 2-2. There's nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen. So Lucchesi's going to push past double digits into triple digits here soon. 2-2. Line down the left field line. Little blooper, but it fades foul near the tarp. It stays 2-2. And because I'm usually pretty bad at these things, I always forget, even though I write it down in my book. Happy birthday to my mother, Patricia Rad. Scalise Rad, that is.
Oh,
she's got her.
Now you tell me.
It's her Beatles' birthday today, when I'm 64. Sorry, Mike. I had to tell him. The 2-2 bounces up there, and the count now full. And if anything should happen to me, the injury update has been brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured, or I am, in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com.
I would have baked a cake.
Infield is back, swung around to the right. 3-2 on Olson, leading off this 6th inning, 1-0 Atlanta. Lucchesi fires. Pitch grounded foul in the on-deck circle.
Your mom has a great name.
Patty Rad. Patty with the knee. It's 3-2. I could just hear her now. I could see the text coming in soon. Why did you tell them this? You could have said happy birthday, and that would have been the end of it. Well, happy birthday, Mom. September 30th, 1960.
That's good math out of you.
Olson has a new bat. Lefty whirls it around. Blue sky and some scattered clouds overhead now here in Atlanta. 1-0 Braves. Lucchesi leans and deals. Swing and a miss. Olsen goes down. And again, as much as it is for us up here in the booth and the Mets fans, not on the edge of our seat, no need to be. Matt Olson is now 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Joey Lucchesi in the most pivotal game of Atlanta's season.
Which is not ideal.
It is not. Here's Soler batting right-handed. He doubled to lead off the second, then came around on the Urshela bloop single. First pitch. Check swing and a breaking ball that goes to the backstop. He did not go around on the count 1 ball and no strikes.
What do you think Atlanta's celebration would be if they hang on to this game? Because how, emotionally deflating was that first one to have to get up to celebrate game 2?
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Down and in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Jorge Soler. Well, I do wonder about celebrations to begin with, because both teams not only have to leave tonight, but they play rather early tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the game that the Mets, if they go to Milwaukee, would play would be at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 in Milwaukee. I mean, that is in literally less than 24 hours. So how much champagne showers can you enjoy? 2-0. That's crushed on the line toward left field. Nimmo goes trotting after it. It bangs up against the fence. Soler rounding first. He's into second with a double.
Well, you can enjoy the shower, just not
bathing in the swimming pool for a while. And Soler is going to come out of the game, I should say, for Eli White, who's going to come on to pinch run. And again, a really big second run for Atlanta. On the Mets side, the Mets have had a little bit of life. They have had 2 hits. They have been hit by a pitch and they have walked. They have had just 1 player reach third base. That was the closest the Mets have gotten to scoring in this game. The offense has been a little bit quiet. Talk about emotional roller coasters today. Mets have had theirs. Here's Laureano, chance to drive in a run. 1 out, bottom 6. Pitches outside with ball 1. Well, since a couple of us up here have had some time to do some dreaming, imagine a little dreaming. Here's a kick and a look to second base. Disengagement. Well, if somehow the Mets not only go out to the West Coast, but go far, so far, that they not only beat the dreaming. They beat the Padres, but they start playing the Dodgers. And the pitch is popped up foul to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. On October the 12th, which would be the night of Game 5 of the NLDS, Billy Joel is in California, so match me. He's got the tickets in the cart. I don't think he's hitting purchase quite yet. 1-1. Driven in the air toward right. Taylor back couple of steps. Eyes to the sky. He's got it. Lines it up, makes the catch. White going for third. The throw is late. White slides in feet first. He advances to third base, and he's there now with 2 outs.
Well, it's been a wacky year. Maybe it'll rain.
Well, what's funny is Chris Matchkowski spends the majority of his life at either Citi Field or Madison Square Garden, where Billy basically has a residency. But, you figured one coast, why not another? Well, it is the Mets that can do all this dreaming because they paid their dues today, winning Game 1. And again, if you missed it, go back and listen to it. Go back and watch it. But wait till later because we got a game here. 1-0 Braves, bottom 6. Here's Urshela. Pitch to Lucchesi. Popped up foul and out of play. The next pitch for Joey Lucchesi will be number 110. And there is somebody in the bullpen.
When was the last time Lucchesi actually pitched in a game?
No,
in the minors even.
Huáscar Brazoban getting up again. He pitched in Game 1. Just a third of an inning. The 0-1. Missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it had been 12 days. He last pitched on September 18th against Charlotte, and he threw 61 pitches. He's had 110 with 2 outs in the 6th.
Has he thrown over 100 all year?
And now he's going to step off with a runner at third base. Disengagement. He's in the windup as well. He has not thrown 100 pitches all season. Joey Fuego ready to deal the 1-1. Urshela flies in the air to shallow left. Nimmo coming in. He's got it, makes the catch. And the Braves strand a runner at third base in the 6th. A game they have to have. They're up 1-0 on the Mets. Joey Lucchesi turns in 6 innings for New York. We go to the 7th on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
In a season already plagued with injuries and underachievers, your fantasy football team is faced with yet another obstacle.
The bye weeks are coming! The bye weeks are coming!
When your star player takes a week off, listen to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio for winning fantasy football advice.
You gotta work the waiver wire, you gotta make trades. The draft is just a piece of the puzzle.
Our experts tell you who to play in this time of need.
Now the work really starts.
Your frontline source for fantasy football, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
The $5 meal deal at McDonald's means you get to pick between a McDouble or a McChicken. Then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money. Get the $5 meal deal today.
Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Now we go to the 7th inning at Truist Park, 1-0 Atlanta. And again, a game they need to win to get into the playoffs. If they lose, they go home. Mets are already in. And we're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. So how about this? Reynaldo Lopez going to pitch for the Braves. Pitched 2 days ago in the Kansas City series and went 6 innings. First pitch to Starling Marte is a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Well, Lopez not only pitched 2 days ago, he threw 73 pitches. So he's in there now. The 0-1. Chop foul into and out of the Atlanta dugout down the right field line. 0-2 on Marte. He'll be followed by Tyrone Taylor and Harrison Bader. A depleted Atlanta bullpen that needs to play tomorrow if they hold this 1-0 lead. 0-2. Just missed outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Their closer, Raisel Iglesias, threw 12 pitches in Game 1. Their setup man, Joe Jimenez, threw 8. And neither pitched well. 1-2. Down and out. 2-2 on Marte. So again, the Braves are throwing everybody they can. I'm sure Lopez is 1 inning and done. He's trying to get to the 8th inning. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Put him away on a slider. Now the Braves can't really afford to, I guess in their minds, put out anyone toward the bottom of their depth chart, also known as a low leverage reliever. At least not yet, because they have used so many guys. And if you double up on an Iglesias or a Jimenez or a Bummer, well, Bummer, you probably don't have them tomorrow. Here's Taylor. First pitch fastball is in for a strike, 0-1. It is 1-0 Atlanta in the 7th. And this is the kind of part 2 of this doubleheader. While it's amazingly dramatic for baseball and baseball fans, 0-1, flying away to the right side, 0-2, is that tomorrow the Mets will do their best to throw out as many relievers as they can who probably pitched today, and Atlanta will have to do the same. Everybody else gets that extra day of rest. 0-2, down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Taylor. Brewers get the day today. Padres get the day today to rest and relax. And this doubleheader, of course, is moved after the hurricane from last week here. 1-2 to Taylor. Swing and a miss. Lopez gets him. Thriving Player of the Game is brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center, saving lives drip by drip. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. And I'll give it to Joey Lucchesi on the Mets side because not only did he go 6, give up a run, but he saved the bullpen. Here's Bader, takes a little bit low for ball 1. I mean, if Joey Lucchesi goes out there and throws a third of an inning and gives up 10 runs on 10 hits, the Mets would have to cover with their bullpen the rest of the innings, even though they don't need this game. The 1-0, that's down and out. 2 balls and no strikes. So kind of a cool moment for Joey Lucchesi. As soon as he got into that dugout, greeted with some hugs from the Mets that say, thank you, Joey, for your service. 2-0. Strike at the knees, 2-1. And again, Lucchesi not going to be joining the team to go to the playoffs, not going to be part of that roster. At least that's the way it looks right now. Who knows about injuries? But the Mets not planning on it. 2-1 to Bader. Driven foul to the right. And now Lopez has him 2-2 here in the 7th. Bader, couple strikeouts. This is at bat number 3. 1-0 Braves. Base is empty, infield back. Lopez deals pitch number 14. That's grounded foul to the right. 2-2. Braves have not used the veteran Jesse Chavez, nor have they used Luke Jackson, 2 names we might hear for the 8th and the 9th. Chavez, a long-time reliever. 2-2, little floater to shallow center. Here comes Harris on the run, makes the catch, side retired. Now Lopez gives the Braves a scoreless 7th. 1-0 Atlanta. Time to get up and stretch here at Truist Park. 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Adelphi University. Top-ranked undergraduate and graduate programs for students of all ages.
There's a lot of things out there to help us stay calm in this modern world, like an app that tells you bedtime stories, one that plays white noise, even one that helps you meditate. At Hyundai, true peace of mind can't be achieved with an app. We think it comes from quality you can count on. That's why every Hyundai vehicle comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Safety features like blind spot view monitors and other advanced technology to help you stay safer on the road. We also have 9 2024 IIHS top safety picks to further help you feel confident on your journey. At Hyundai, true peace of mind comes from the quality of our vehicles. But if you still want to meditate, there's an app for that. To test drive one of our award-winning vehicles, visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 1.99% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 661-615-2112 for details.
Peerless Boilers wants to keep you in heat and hot water. So check out Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and Pavilion tankless water heaters, the world's best-built tankless water heaters. Learn about both at peerlessboilers.com. And remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best-built boilers.
Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center specializes in more than 400 types of cancer, including the most important one, yours. What does it take to face cancer with confidence? It takes MSK. Visit msk.org/expert because where you're treated first matters.
For over 50 years, Parts Authority has been the one-stop shop for everything automotive aftermarket. Check out these parts. Parts Authority Auto Parts Superstores, where the answer is yes.
Back here in Atlanta, 1-0 Braves. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets postgame show. You're going to want to hear it. Pat's going to be down in the clubhouse getting reaction and doing his best to not wet all of the clothes that he has. Verizon, the network New York City relies on. So, you know, the Mets win game 1 today. There's jubilation. There's a party, but it's delayed. Sean Murphy leads off. Huáscar Brazoban's first pitch runs him off the plate. He missed high and tight with 96, and it's ball 1. Second time today Brazoban has pitched in game 1, ended up facing 2 batters and getting 1 out. The 1-0 down and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the way that MLB, I guess, asked for it, but also this is what was anticipated, was with 2 teams having to win 2 games. How would you handle the celebration after game 1? 2-0, zips to the knees on the outside corner, 2-1. Now the question of, would you have the full-on, put the plastic up in the clubhouse, party hard, or would you have to come back out quickly? 2-1 is low, 3 balls and a strike. And so MLB said, please, fellas, if you don't mind, can you wait until both games are done and then do your thing? And so the Mets are ready to do their thing in just a couple of innings. 3-1, it's away with ball 4. And Brazoban allows a leadoff walk to Sean Murphy. And the Braves win, and the Mets are going to Milwaukee. Braves win, and they will go to San Diego. And the team that is sitting on its hands right now, powerless out in Arizona, the Diamondbacks, who today need, at this point, the Mets to win this game for them to get in. Here's Arcia, batting in the 9th spot. He's 0 for 2. Pitch at the knees, outside corner, strike 1. By the way, the celebration, the post-game celebration, I know the Mets, after that first game, they did have a chance to hug it out on the field with the owner, Steve Cohen, and some of the team staff. Next pitch is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. But don't underestimate, as much as the Mets have to get ready to go to Milwaukee or San Diego, how important and meaningful that celebration is. The 1-1, grounded foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It doesn't have to be total revelry and, going too far, but to enjoy that moment with, in this case, the Mets as the band of brothers. That is what these guys look forward to after 162 days of this every day. 1-2, down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you always see that, especially when the Royals were here. I think they clinched here in Atlanta, but they clinched on a loss somewhere else, and they still went bananas. So they lost the game, went to the clubhouse, and partied like it was 1986. Where have I heard that before? 2-2. Got him looking inside corner. Brazoban rings up Arcia. Strike 3. Now back to the top of the order for the Braves. Bottom of the 7th, 1-on-1 out for Michael Harris. And this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. Pitch. Harris takes low and in with ball 1.
All right, I think I've recovered.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Hall of Famer Howie Rowe.
No. Just keep going.
I can hear them cheering from Flushing all the way up here.
Well, the only ones worth cheering are the Mets in that 8th and 9th inning today.
Luis Torres is out to talk to Oscar Brazoban. Ahead of this at bat to Michael Harris. It is a ball and no strikes on him.
I think one thing to keep in mind here as we get closer and closer to the resolution of this as far as the Braves are concerned, even though he was ineffective, Joe Jimenez only threw 8 pitches, giving up the 3 hits in game 1. He could be called on a little bit later.
1-0 on Harris with Murphy at first. The pitch just missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And maybe Iglesias too, we'll see.
Now looks like Joe Jimenez is warming up in that Atlanta bullpen. He'll try again in the 8th. Throw to first, and Murphy dives back in. And I did see in between games, there's a clip of when I believe it was the double that cleared the bases for Ozzie Albies to put the Braves up 7-6. 2-0. Harris takes a strike, 2-1. And Harris is at the plate. Was one of the runners that came around to score on that hit. And as soon as he got to the dugout, he celebrated, enjoyed it. And then he did the Mets celebration in the dugout. So that should give you a little inclination. 2-1. Harris pops one up over the mound. Here comes Alonso waving his arms in from first. Makes the catch. 2 down. I'm telling you, if the Mets just hang around and they have a chance, they'll try to win the game. Try to send the Braves home. And these guys are friends off the field, some of them, but once those jerseys are on, those logos are side by side. Oh baby, you know it's on. So here's Albies, 1-0 Atlanta, bottom of the 7th. Runner at first, 2 outs. Pitch. Foul back behind home plate, 0-1. The season series is 6-6, which is why, again, the Braves win. They would have the same exact record as the Mets, but they'd have the tiebreaker. And that game last Tuesday, the Mets lost, was a big one. 0-1, little chopper off the mound, third base side. Brazoban, bare hands, throws to first. It goes by Alonso up the first base line. Murphy gets to third. He stops there. Taylor fields and fires in. And Albies down to second base. Well, Brazoban went for a highlight reel play there. He is still standing in the space where he delivered the ball. He bounced it right in front of Pete. Pete tried to vacuum it off the turf, but couldn't. And now the throwing error sets up second and third for Marcell Ozuna.
You know, my first impulse was to say he really didn't need to throw that ball, but watching the replay now, a little bit better throw and he would have had him. I mean, he would have had Albies. I don't think he threw the ball on one hop on purpose, trying to get it to skip to the bag a little quicker, but it went beyond the reach of Alonso, and it is a throwing error along with a base hit.
So now Ozuna, and again, this is a huge at-bat if you're Atlanta. Huge in a couple different ways. Brian Snitker only has a couple bullets in that reliever chamber to use for the 8th and the 9th. And a larger lead would certainly help his decision making. Braves have had a couple guys on all day. They've left 6. They have a 1-0 lead, and they have their best hitter up, Marcell Ozuna. First pitch. Line towards short, over a leaping Alvarez into left field. This will score 2. Murphy and Albies score 3-0 Braves. Ozuna points to the skies. He gets to first. He has given Atlanta a 3-0 lead.
As the Arizona Diamondbacks wince and mutter. And yeah, probably swear a bit.
Now they needed Huáscar Brazoban to try to make that throw complete and put Albies on. And now, you know, the Mets swings we've seen them take at home plate. Who knows if they've got 3 or 4 runs in them with 2 innings to play. Again, they don't need to win. They're already in, the Mets. Braves need to win today. Pitch to Olsen. Lefty takes a strike, 0-1.
You know, you forget sometimes, and I'll include you in this because you're in the same age range as them, but these players are kids. They're big kids, but they're kids. They can't wait to party after this game.
Absolutely. 0-1. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. Just imagine how many texts and calls and Snapchats are on Lindor's phone right now, or Nimmo's phone right now. They've got, that phone's been buzzing for about 3 hours now, and they haven't been back to the clubhouse to see it yet.
We just got to make sure that buzz calms down by tomorrow.
0-2. Fouled back. Count 0-2. Well, that is, again, important. The celebration is just saying that the team popping bottles for that champagne shower, that is a very important moment to any team. But it's a team with a lot of veterans that don't just want to get in. They want to do something when they get there, which is tomorrow. 0-2 is high and away. Ball and 2 strikes.
And I don't want to sound like a Scrooge or anything, because in a sense this is Christmas morning to the Mets, but I would keep alcohol off of the plane. I really would. I don't want those guys drinking a drop on the way to Milwaukee.
1-2. Olsen lines one to right field. That's a base hit. Ozuna hits second, heads for third. Taylor fields off the wall, fires to second. Try to get Olsen to throw the tag. He's out. Tyrone Taylor still running and gunning from the warning track in deep right field. Throws out Olsen, trying to stretch that single into a double. And the inning is over. But the Braves scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. And with a tag out of Olsen, just 1 left. We go to the 8th at Truist Park in Atlanta, 3-0 Braves on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
The CBS News Vice Presidential Debate is on Sirius XM.
We're going to send Donald Trump back to the White House.
As soon-to-be President Harris says, when we fight, we win!
Hear the debate live on the Sirius XM News and Political channels. With post-debate coverage on Triumph with Megyn Kelly, POTUS with Julie Mason, Patriot with Stacey Washington, and Progress with John Fugelsang. And call in to have your voice heard.
My generation wants answers.
The CBS News Vice Presidential Debate, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM.
A new year in the NBA is right around the corner, and NBA Radio has you covered.
Muscles it up and scoring the foul.
Our experts are breaking down the entire league.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
And bringing you inside the locker room.
It is a must-win game.
Basketball season is just weeks away, and your 24/7 home for hoops is SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on SiriusXM 89 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
A look at it. They are ready to party and then head somewhere for the playoffs that begin for them tomorrow. Atlanta has a 3-0 lead. They are 6 outs away from partying and heading out the playoffs themselves. And I guess here's take 2 for Joe Jimenez, Howie, who's going to pitch in the 8th inning again.
Unbelievable, isn't it? You ever just go to bed and have a nightmare and wake up and go, you mean it was only a dream? Whew. Well, the Braves are in that exact situation now, taking a 3-0 lead in a game they need to win to clinch into the 8th inning. And the first pitch to Luis Torrens from Jimenez is swung on and missed, nothing at 1. So in a sense, this is a mulligan for the Braves. Torrens, Alvarez, and Acuna due up, and the 0-1 taken outside 1-1. And what makes it a little bit easier for them, if anything can be considered easy today, is the fact that really the Mets don't seem to give a rat's tuchus. So you're not going to see Lindor. The 1-1 fastball in for a called strike. It's 1-2. You're not going to see, in all likelihood, Vientos, Francisco Alvarez. And the Mets, I'm telling you, they just want to party now. The 1-2 lifted in the air to right field. Not deep. Under it is White. Makes the one-hand catch. 1 man out. So now the Braves are 5 outs away from getting to a place that seemed inevitable a few hours ago and then seemed to have faded into the distance almost beyond view in a rear view mirror. Sometimes you do get second chances. What this will do to their pitching beginning tomorrow? Well, as Match likes to say, not our problem. Here's Eddie Alvarez, left-hand batter, takes a breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1. Not the Mets' problem anyway.
I want to ask you this too, just reflecting on Game 1 and the playoff clinch too. Obviously, you've done this for quite a while.
The 0-1 swing and a miss, 0-2. Good slider.
The 15 team had a feel. The 2000 team had a feel. Of course, 86 and 73 and 69 had a feel. What does this one feel like? What kind of team identity does this feel like?
It's a great question because I think in some ways this season is unique. 73 was just, here's the 0-2 to Alvarez. Eddie takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. A complete aberration. No one took control on the National League East. The Mets had a lot of guys hit. 1973 was a pennant-winning year, but really it was a great 6 weeks, September and October. 1-2 on the way, pulled on the ground to first. Olson's got it behind the bag, runs there himself and beats Alvarez. 2 men away, and now the Braves are 4 outs away. And Luis Angel Acuna is coming up. What makes this unique to me is that you have a rookie manager, you have a team, albeit with low expectations, that was 11 games under 500 at the end of May. Nobody expected anything, and yet they went 66-39 after the 29th of May, coming into this doubleheader today. First pitch to Acuna taken down and in, ball 1. So, when you think about it in that context, that's a winning percentage of .629. That's better than a 100-win pace, and they maintained it for 4 months. The 1-0 to Acuna taken high, 2 balls and no strikes. But then to have the scramble that this was under conditions that did not exist years ago, never mind a wild card, and then 2, but now 3, it's exhilarating for what it is. The 2-0 roll to the right side. Albies up with it, throws to first, in time, side retired. So what used to be a cause for chanting "We're number 1," well, nowadays, "We're number 6" is good enough. Playing by the rules. Nothing across, middle of the 8th. It's the Braves 3, the Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
This New York Mets road game is sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Travel and Tourism. Next time you hit the road, plan your vacation at visitnj.org.
Tailgating, where friends gather, grills sizzle, and parking lots become party central. But let's be real, your energy can tank faster than your fantasy defense. Enter 5-Hour Energy, the ultimate tailgate turbocharger. With caffeine, vitamins, and nutrients, it'll keep you going strong through every touchdown and terrible referee call. So, running low on steam, grab a 5-Hour Energy and get back to flipping burgers, trash-talking your rivals, and pretending you know every play. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
New York City Department of Corrections. Search city exams and go to corrections officer. Register for the test today.
Selecting and installing Marvin replacement windows is easy when you work with Riverhead Building Supply.
We'll guide you through each step, from selecting your new Marvin windows to installing them in your home.
Visit Riverhead Building Supply or rbscorp.com.
Craving a tasty burger? Well, Smashburger has you covered. And Smashburger is now open at 669 8th Avenue at 42nd Street. Enjoy certified Angus beef burgers, signature sides like smash fries, and hand-spun milkshakes. Smashburger, available for dine-in, takeout, or delivery at smashburger.com.
You never have to worry about thinking too big because you have a reliable connection that puts everything within reach. A connection to education, to family and friends, and most of all, to opportunity. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum.
While everyone is listening to the ball game, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative is hard at work rebuilding our infrastructure. Whether it's transportation, water, or energy projects, ELEC and the Operating Engineers 825 are ready to get to work building our bounce back. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Eli White leads off for the Braves. They lead the Mets 3-0, and Adam Ottavino is the new pitcher. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. So Brazoban gave up 2 runs in his 1 inning of work to give the Braves some breathing room. Ottavino a scoreless inning in the opener today. And the 0-1 to the right-hand batter. Way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, missing with a cutter. Don't forget to stay tuned for the clubhouse celebration. It's all coming up on the Verizon Mets postgame show. Verizon, the network New York City relies on. And they are waiting to celebrate. The 1-1, breaking ball in for a called strike, 1-2. And, of course, with a 3-0 lead at the minimum going to the 9th inning for the Braves, well, they're waiting to celebrate, too. But the one thing they cannot celebrate today is the news about Chris Sale. You know that he would have started this game if he were anything close to being okay. The 1-2 on the way, swing and a miss at a fastball, strike 3. And that's the first out. It'll bring up Ramon Laureano, but Sale, said to be down with back spasms, could not make the start in a game that the Braves absolutely, positively, desperately need to win. And that certainly calls into question his potential availability in the postseason. Braves hang on. They go to San Diego. Here's Laureano, right-hand batter. And Ottavino deals. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, 0-1. Again, that postseason schedule for tomorrow brought to you by Food Bazaar. Shop local, eat global with Food Bazaar Supermarket. Foodbazaar.com. This is starting to clarify now. Here's the 0-1. Way outside with a sweeper, 1-1. Now, if this holds and the Braves defeat the Mets here in Game 2, the Mets go to Milwaukee for a 5:32 Eastern Time start. Here's the 1-1. Little roller to the right side. Alonso Farter was right, has it. Ottavino gets to the bag, and Alonso hits him with a perfect throw. There are 2 men away. 3-1 to retire Laureano. Gio Urshela coming up. How they get to 5:32 and 8:38 for the Braves in San Diego? Who knows? That's their business. Tell you what,
there will be a lot of network stooges involved for the next couple of weeks, Howie. So we better get ready.
Longer breaks. Can only imagine what that's going to mean for us. Raisel Iglesias loosening up in the Atlanta bullpen, so he's getting ready for the 9th. Here's Urshela. First pitch on the way, swinging a high pop-up behind shortstop. Going back, Eddie Alvarez onto the grass, makes the one-hand catch, side retired. So now the Braves will try to lock down their spot as we go to the 9th. Ottavino gets the Braves in order, and at the end of 8, it's the Braves 3, the Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
There's no competition in club soccer quite like the UEFA Champions League. And the biggest matches are on Sirius XM FC.
Turns inside, shoot! Oh my word, Bukayo Saka!
Two of Europe's best collide in London, where the Gunners play host to PSG.
Brilliant steals from Zaire Emery. 5-0 Paris Saint-Germain.
Arsenal versus Paris, Tuesday at 3 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
The $5 meal deal at McDonald's means you get to pick between a McDouble or a McChicken. Then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money. Get the $5 meal deal today.
Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only.
This is John Paul Morosi. On the new SiriusXM original podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Was probably the second or third concussion in a short period of time that I received. Looking back, you wish you maybe would have done things a little differently.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
SiriusXM NFL Radio is your home for the National Football League all year long on Channel 88 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on Sirius XM 89 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Well, we go to the ninth inning for the Mets. Sooner they get it over with, the better, because they're getting ready to let loose in the clubhouse after winning the opener of today's doubleheader in a classic 8-7. They'll be talking about that game forever when you look back on Mets history. And they, by doing so, secured their place in the playoffs. The Braves need 3 outs here to secure theirs and send the Diamondbacks home. Jose Iglesias leads off against Raisel Iglesias, whose first pitch is on the outside corner, strike one call. Now Jose gets one more chance here to extend the 21-game hitting streak. The 0-1 taken high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. This is game number 162. Technically, hitting streaks carry over from one season to the next. And the 1-1 on the way, swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Good slider there from Iglesias, who really struggled when he came on in the 8th inning. Gave up the 2-run homer to Nimmo. The 1-2 pulled on the ground, left side, backhanded by the shortstop Arcia. His throw to first, not nearly in time. Infield hit, Jose Iglesias. He will end the regular season on a 21-game hitting streak. What a story he's been.
I'll tell you what, and like you said, the playoffs will start, and that hitting streak will carry over into next year, which is exactly what Jose Iglesias wants to do. He was so happy to just get a chance to come back to the majors this year. Of course, look what he's done, but he wants to obviously continue that on for years to come.
So now Raisel Iglesias faces Brandon Nimmo. First pitch to the left-hand batter, swung on and missed, 0-1. Brandon has struck out twice and singled, and he took Iglesias so far out in that top of the 8th inning. I didn't even see where the ball landed until we saw the replay. The 0-1 lifted in the air, foul, third base side out of play. The outfielder very often lets you know when a ball is just gone, forget it. Sometimes they don't even give you a courtesy run back. But that ball landed way beyond the seating above the 16-foot high wall in right field, back of the chop house. The 0-2 rolled on to second. Albies up with it, throws to second, one, return to first, double play. Albies to Arcia to Olsen, and just like that, the Braves are an out away, and so are the Mets.
You know what, I just saw Brandon Nimmo kind of smile because Brandon always goes 100%. Well, today in game 2, if he goes 99%, that's okay.
I cannot wait to ask him after the game how he measured that so perfectly. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Pete Alonso. Could be his last regular season at bat as a Met. First pitch hit on the ground to short. Arcia in a couple of steps has it. Throws to first in time, and the Atlanta Braves will celebrate. They are going to the postseason. They will go to San Diego as the number 5 seed. For them, postseason play is nothing new. After winning 6 division titles, at times this year, they were on the other side of the grid, looking up but they have pulled it off, and people will tell you with all the injuries they had, this was Brian Snitker's, well, if not the best, one of his best managerial performances. So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. They'll play the Padres. The Mets already darting back to the clubhouse to start spraying champagne. The team split the doubleheader, and the Mets will party and then go on to Milwaukee. In the ninth inning for New York, no runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left. The final score in Game 2, the Atlanta Braves 3, and the New York Mets nothing. Back to talk about it, get you down to the clubhouse for the celebration right after this on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets! Let NJ Transit take you to the ball game. If you're headed to the ballpark.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, the one that's hanging out and listening to the MLB playoff game with us. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Now, please help our community grow and hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single MLB playoff game in this season. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, turn that bell on so you don't miss it when we go live. Hit that subscribe button so that we can continue this growth path. 40K, we just passed 40,000 subscribers last night. It's time to keep on pushing towards 50K. Thank you for being here for the MLB playoffs. Good luck to your team, and we'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you.
Hard head, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Corporate meetings, trade shows, birthdays, rehearsal dinners, you name it. Truist Park can host it. Visit Braves.com/events to reserve one of the 16 unique venues at the ballpark.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease at Tucson for $199 a month, or get 1.99% APR for 60 months, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. Offers end September 30th. Call 813-867-0006 for complete offer details.
Nothing matches the drive of Braves country. From the energy of the crowd to our passion for the open road. That's why Napa has all your automotive bases covered with the solutions you need to keep moving. With nearly 6,000 auto parts stores and over 17,000 auto care centers nationwide, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care. And as a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves, we're here to make sure that drive never stops.
You're not afraid to get dirty. You know there's strength in sweat, pride in a hard day's work, and power in a great team. We agree the best teams run like a well-oiled machine. That's why you need a Yanmar tractor on your roster. The tractor rated #1 in product quality by the EDA 5 years running. From digging and grading to tilling and mowing. Get more done. Take less time. Yanmar gets you to the game faster. See all their tractors online at yanmartractor.com. That's yanmartractor.com.
I'm Cortland spokespug, Cordy. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland. Visit Cortland.com to find your new apartment or one of our next level communities. Go Braves!
Braves win at 3-0 over the Mets. The Home Depot is proud to present today's player of the game. That's going to be Marcell Ozuna for his 2 RBI single in the 7th. Gave the Braves some breathing room, and then the pitching was absolutely magnificent here in Game 2. And Ozuna, your player of the game, built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Here are the totals for the Braves: 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 7 men left on base. For the Mets, no runs, 3 hits, an error, 4 men left on base, no homers in the game for either team. Daysbel Hernandez wins the game. He's now 3-0. Joey Lucchesi takes the loss. He falls to 0-2. Raisel Iglesias is 34th save of the year. Time of the game, 2 hours, 14 minutes in front of 41,561. Sellout crowd, and they will leave with smiles on their faces. Well, the Braves hit 2 home runs in game 1 of this doubleheader, so that means you'll score $150 off a set of Select tires tomorrow only, plus a free alignment and a free oil change with your tire purchase. And that's only from Tire Discounters. It's the round tripper promotion only at Tire Discounters. Visit tirediscounters.com/Braves for more. On to San Diego now. We'll tell you about that when we come back on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player,
you have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Spoiler alert. A 2-word warning that we're about to ruin the end. But sometimes, spoilers can be worthwhile. And so we designed the Lexus NX to reveal many things. Like taking the mystery out of how close you are between parking space lines, or the time you'll arrive at your dinner reservation. Technology designed to remove surprise endings. It's just a better story that way. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
This is for anyone currently doing plumbing, pipe fitting, or HVAC work with at least 3 years experience. If you're not making over $55 an hour total package, including health insurance, benefits, and a retirement pension, we need to talk. We're the plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVACR techs of UA72, and we've got a job for you. Plenty of options, safe conditions, great people in Atlanta. Visit UA72.org, click Join Us, and we'll send you a list of openings now. UA72.org.
Atlanta Braves fans know the Freeze is fast. From his game day races to his Freeze Blast drink breaks on the go, he's all about speed, convenience, and outrunning the competition. That's why he fuels up at Racetrack. Catch him cooling off with a Freeze Blast drink and grabbing whatever gets him going. From pizza to candy to Swirl World ice cream, he can be in and out in seconds. And for the rest of us, we might not beat the Freeze, but Racetrack sure gets us going. Fuel up fast at Racetrack. Proud hometown partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Corporate meetings, trade shows, birthdays, rehearsal dinners, you name it, Truist Park can host it. Visit Braves.com/events to reserve one of the 16 unique venues at
Braves win this one 3-0 over the Mets. Folks, don't go anywhere. Coming up in a moment, we'll have our Hyundai postgame show, and we'll have a reaction from the Braves clubhouse as Joe will be down there amongst all the champagne. Next ball game will be tomorrow night. Braves and the Padres in Game 1 of a best-of-3 series between the Braves and the Padres from Petco Park. Will be on the air tomorrow evening at 7:20 Eastern. And the first pitch tomorrow night at 8:38 Eastern, 7:38 Central. I have no idea who's going to be on the mound. We'll know tomorrow night. So for the guys in studio, Chris Colwell and Cullen Madden, great job as always. Also for Joe Simpson and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick, I'm Ben Ingram, saying so long and good evening for now. We'll be back in just a moment here back on the ballpark as we have celebratory reaction down at the clubhouse as Joe will be down there for the champagne celebration. Stay tuned for the Hyundai postgame show. That's starting up right now with Kevin McAlpin. Kevin.
Ben, thanks. The party is on at Truist Park. Braves are headed to the playoffs for the 7th straight year. Don't go anywhere. All the reaction, including exclusive audio and interviews with Joe Simpson. He will be in the clubhouse. It's coming up next right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on the Braves Radio Network, lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce. This broadcast of Atlanta Braves Baseball is a presentation of the Atlanta Braves and Dickey Broadcasting Company, Atlanta. Any use of the accounts, descriptions, and audio of today's game without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves Major League Baseball Club and Dickey Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. Don't move, because the Hyundai postgame show is up next on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes. But one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai.
Hey, baseball fans, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for this MLB playoff matchup. Please take a second and hit that thumbs up, hit that like button down below. Take a second, exit out of the chat, hit that thumbs up. It helps bring more fans here into the chat to hang out with us during every single game, because we're going to be live every single MLB playoff game going forward in the month of October, as well as the end of the World Series in November. So, with that being said, let's get back to the chat. Hit that thumbs up button so more people can come hang out with us. And if you're inclined, please share the link. That is the best way outside of the like button to bring more people here into the chat. Put it on the social board, social media, whatever. Thanks for hanging out with us. Back to the baseball. Good luck to whatever team it is that you're cheering for.
Louisiana brand hot sauce is the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. And just like a fastball that catches the edge of the plate, the original Louisiana brand hot sauce always strikes the perfect note. Aggressive enough to wake up your taste buds without overpowering your meal. So whether you're celebrating another Braves win or just spicing up your game day grub, grab the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold.
City of Hope Cancer Center Atlanta is turning hope into reality, providing personalized treatments for all stages of cancer, with appointments available in as little as 24 hours. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
A new year in the NBA is right around the corner, and NBA Radio has you covered.
Tatum muscles it up and in, scoring the foul.
Our experts are breaking down the entire league.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
And bringing you inside the locker room.
It is a must-win game.
Basketball season is just weeks away, and your 24/7 home for hoops is SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription? What? Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Another ball game is in the books, and we've got it all covered. This is the Hyundai Postgame Show on the Braves Radio Network.
2-2 high in the air to deep right field. That's going to send back Marte. This thing's got wings. That's going to fly away, and it's 2-0 Atlanta.
All the highlights, news, and audio from today's game is on the way. All driven by your local Hyundai dealer. Proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. Visit buyhyundai.com. Now live from the Battery Atlanta at Truist Park. It's time for the Hyundai Postgame Show on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Braves are in the win column. They win game 162. They blank the Mets 3-0. They are popping bottles here at Truist Park. Headed back to the postseason for the 7th straight year. This time a little bit different as a wild card. And of course, we're glad to have you with us on the Hyundai Postgame Show. Kevin McAlpin with you from our network studios here in the Battery Atlanta, right across the street from the ballpark. And of course, folks, this is the Hyundai Postgame Show. It's your chance to get away with great deals on that Hyundai you've always wanted at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in, these deals will not last, so visit buyhyundai.com today. Well, it was certainly a tale of 2 days for the Braves, a heartbreaking Game 1 loss against the Mets. They respond with a 3-0 win. Braves and Mets both headed to the playoffs. Diamondbacks are out as we head back across the street to Truist Park. And Ben Ingram joining us from the home radio booth. I know Joe Simpson has made his way downstairs. Ben, set the scene. What do things look like on the field? I know they just took the big team photo here a few minutes ago.
Yeah, they did. Then they had the party pour into the clubhouse. And, you know, for a situation like this, we didn't know what was going to happen in this game till the very end. So they were rushing to prepare the clubhouse, make sure all the tarps were hung up and the floor was covered. And now the champagne is being sprayed for the first time. Brian Snitker just gave a speech, and everybody had a bottle of champagne, and now it's like a giant geyser down there. There's champagne all over the place, and it looks like a bunch of 8-year-olds down there. They're having that much fun, and they deserve it, Kevin. It's I think about how this season has gone, and if you go back to spring training, and if you had told me or anybody else, if you had handed us a list of all the players the Braves would be without for large portions of this season, or in some cases the entire season, and you told me that they still found a way to get into the postseason picture, I would have said, how did they do it?
Right.
How in the world did they make that happen? And well, let's, you know, here's somebody who can answer that better than any of us. Here's Brian Snitker down there with Joe.
All right, thanks, Ben. It's kind of a long day, but worth the wait, right?
Yeah, it is. We took it right to, I told him, I said, man, you guys took long enough to make this happen. So, doesn't matter. You know what? I'm really happy for all the guys, especially there's a lot of guys in there probably never been through this. And like I told them, it's like you never take this for granted because you're never guaranteed this. You just suck the life out of it, enjoy it. We're in the dance. I mean, that's all we asked for all year was to get an opportunity.
You know, last couple of years you guys have kind of waltzed in because you had a lot of room for that waltz. Yeah. This year you didn't. You had no room for error. Is it a little sweeter right now?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm telling you. Just, you know what, and everybody's been through a lot. Every team that got in the playoffs, it wasn't easy for anybody. And the whole group, everybody involved, you know. So I'm really happy for the players, how they hung in there. You know, the professionalism, the consistency in their everyday work, the energy with which they played. And you know what, all that makes it all the much sweeter when you end up pulling it off.
Quite a season, but today, got to win, must win.
Yeah.
Game 2. No Chris Sale, and look what your guys did in the bullpen with Holmes, Hernandez, etc.
Holmes was just unbelievable. I mean, and he's got a rubber arm. I mean, he pitched yesterday, and I said if we'd known Chris was not going to be able to go, we wouldn't have used him yesterday. But he doesn't care. I mean, I think he is so appreciative of this, and it's been a long time coming for him. He's one of the guys I'm really happy for to be a big part in this, and a big reason why we're standing here right now.
Not much opportunity to celebrate. I mean, you're going to enjoy this, of course, but you got to play tomorrow across the country. What preparation goes into that? Just a pleasant plane ride?
We're probably no. It's. I'd like to take a nap. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, we got to figure out the pitching end again, the players. There's a lot to do right now. And we got 4 hours on that plane to try and work through everything. So there's not going to be a whole lot of rest till I said we'll get caught up in Thanksgiving around there.
Hey, Brian, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Good luck. You're in. You're like you said. And anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I just told Ozzy, I said, Ozzy, we've made it happen before, so there's no reason why we can't do it again. So
way to go.
All right, thanks.
That's Brian Snitker, guys. And, there for a while it looked like firecrackers going off in there in the clubhouse. But Brian came running out. Of course, he was drenched. But he said, okay, that's enough for me.
That's right. Like he said, he's got work to do, and so do the Braves. But now's the time to celebrate and enjoy this because it's been such a long, hard road, and they've found their way in. I like the point that he made about Grant Holmes and what he did in this ball game. He comes out and just completely shoves. 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, and he went 12 up and 12 down to start things off. And gave the Braves offense enough time to find a way to scratch across the run, which they did in the 2nd, and then 2 more in the 7th. And the pitching was outstanding. Altogether, the 17th shutout of the season for the Braves. And today was Holmes, Hernandez, Lee, Lopez, Jimenez, and Iglesias, who get the Braves across the finish line and into the postseason with their 89th win of the year.
Hey, Ben, the last couple of years, just as I said to Brian, we've all had a real relaxing entry into the postseason. There was virtually no stress the last half of September. Today, certainly there was, especially the way Game 1 ended. And I'm not so sure that I'm not enjoying this more than last year, like Brian said.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you think about the ease in which the Braves cruised in the last few seasons. This was a chaotic entry into the postseason this year. Nothing like what the Braves experienced in recent years. Braves a wild card for the first time since 2012 and had been a division winner all those other years. But I'm right there with you. Joe, I think with what this team overcame, there are so many moments of doubt all year just because of the injuries. Can they find a way to piece it together and make their way in? And that certainly makes it so much more enjoyable knowing that they fought tooth and nail and had just enough in game 162 to get themselves there.
100%. And like you said, the way they went about it there in game 2 when nobody knew exactly what might happen, it was kind of crazy. Well, here comes a guy who tried to single-handedly take care of things in game 1, and that's Ozzie Albies. Now, we were just talking, Ozzie, about how last couple of years you guys have kind of waltzed into the postseason. You know, no stress. This year is a little different. Is this sweeter?
I mean, you know, not every year are the same, and, you know, we in it, and that's what matters right now, and it's just going to be where we got to go and take care of business, and it starts now.
Absolutely. Well, what a game you had in game 1. I know it wasn't quite enough, but have you ever been through a game quite like that?
I think that's one of the most hyped game I had in my career, and I loved it. Every single inning, every single pitch, everything mattered. It was amazing, but not too enough that we came up short with losing that game, but definitely happy we still going to the playoff.
One thing about this ball club all year long is how many things you had to overcome with the injuries. What is it about this club that still got it here to the postseason?
Oh, we never give up, and that's what got us here. We kept playing hard no matter what, and today we're here, so we celebrating a little bit before we take a flight to San Diego.
Go ahead and go celebrate some more.
Thank you.
I think you're wet enough, but go ahead. Ozzie Albies, fellas.
Well, it's an experienced crew. They know how to party, don't they?
He is soaking wet. Let's visit with the chairman. Come here. Terry McGurk is soaking wet, too. But we've been talking about how the team has coasted into the postseason the last couple of years. Not so this year. How's that make you feel now?
Wow. The last week, Snit, Alex, everybody deserves so much credit. To win 5 in a row down the stretch when we were counted out, and the odds were so against us getting over the top. And then, it's just never give up attitude. Today, we left our guts out on the field in the first game, and to come back and do it in the second is just a testament to what a great bunch this is.
Have you heard? I don't think I've heard Truist Park as loud since maybe 21 in the World Series here. But the crowd today was incredible. You guys go over 3 million in attendance for the 3rd year in a row. What's that say about Braves country?
Well, I agree. When in that first game when Ozzie got the hit, that's on a par with any crowd we've ever had in the stadium. And it's amazing how many people hung in all day long, 2 full games. I don't know how many hours, but it was a long day of baseball. And a gut-wrenching day. I mean, if you had any nerves left after the first game, you were, hanging it all out in the second one because you knew, it was do or die, and it got managed that way.
Never gets old, does it, Terry?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Thanks for the visit.
Oh, baby.
That's Terry McGurk, the chairman of the team, and Travis Darno is standing nearby. Hey, congratulations again.
Thank you. What an honor. So grateful to get an opportunity to go back in the playoffs and make some magic happen.
Well, I'll ask you the same question I've ever asked everybody else. Last couple of years, you guys have kind of coasted into the postseason. This year, not so. Is this a little sweeter?
Yeah, it's a totally different story going in. Now we're lucky to be here. We're the underdogs, so perhaps takes a little pressure off of us, but I know no offense likes to face our pitching, so it should be a fun time, and I can't wait.
When it came down to last week and things were so unsettled, did you care where you went, or just get in?
Just get in. That was the most important thing. You can't win it all unless you get in, so that's all we cared about.
What about going? It's not home for you, but close to home. That's kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, that'll be fun. It's going to be emotional for me. It's where my grandpa lived when he first passed away, so my whole family will be there, and it'll be a lot of fun.
What kind of preparation will you do or will you be able to do on the plane to try to get ready for this? Any kind of scouting report? Have you already been working on that?
No, I have not. We were just focusing on this series against the Mets to try to get in, and fortunately we have a really long flight and actually an extra 3 hours there, so we'll have some extra time to do some studying, and obviously tonight we'll enjoy tonight.
All right, way to go.
Thank you.
Congrats again. And nice going on the game winner the other night, the walk-off. I think it was all due to the haircut.
Yeah, it had to be the haircut.
Well, if you'll tell us where you got it cut, we'll go down and beat the tar out of that guy.
It's a place called Roosters right down the street from here, close to my house. It's really great. They do a great job, and you get a neck and head massage, too, on top of that.
Oh, well, then it was worth it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
All right, Travis, nice going. Thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
That's Travis Darno, and I'm going to send it back up to you guys and come back up and join you. And I'm not going to call it subdued, but let's just call it phase one of the postseason celebration.
I think that's a good way to put it, Joe. I think this is a team that has certainly done this many times. Like we mentioned, 7 straight trips to the postseason. You have to celebrate getting in no matter how you get there. As a division winner, as a 1 seed, as the last team in. Getting into the postseason is such a privilege every single season, regardless of how you get there. And this is something this team should enjoy. But like Snit said, work to be done. Got a lengthy flight ahead and a game tomorrow. Game 1 of the wild card series versus the Padres starts tomorrow. And Kevin, we bring you back in now. And this will be a quick turnaround, but it's better than not having a turnaround. The alternative of this was going home, and that's the last thing anybody wanted.
Ben, I joked with Chris Domino earlier on the pregame show, and I said, the last few weeks we've talked about all these meaningful games. Playoffs started early for the Braves, let's be honest. And for the folks out there who might have said, well, you want your team playing meaningful games that count down the stretch. Well, you had 2 of them the day after the regular season was supposed to wrap up. So, look, you got into the dance. And I'm just sitting here thinking about all the time missed by key players, whether it's Acuna or Strider or, fill in the blank, Albies, Riley, Minter. This team has overcome so much adversity. So just to find their way in with the starting pitching, I don't know about you, partner. I know it's a tough draw with the Padres, but if their starting pitching can continue what they've done all season long, scratch out a few runs, you're going to put yourself in a position to win ball games.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Look, a tough draw is better than no draw.
No doubt.
I'll take a tough draw every single time. I'll tell you another thing that I've never seen before. Right now, as I'm sitting here in the radio booth, Kevin, the Mets team is coming out onto the field for a team picture. They're soaked in champagne. I can't remember ever seeing dual champagne celebrations in the same stadium before, and that's what was happening just now. Braves are partying in the home clubhouse. Mets are partying in the visiting clubhouse, and the only team not partying is the Diamondbacks. They're heading home.
Here's what's interesting too, Ben. We always used to talk back at Turner Field of all the teams that celebrated in that visitors clubhouse. Well, you've had 2 of them do it this week, and yet here you are still going to the playoffs as well. So it's amazing. And again, for them to overcome so much adversity and injuries and to just keep plugging away. And I talked to some folks recently. Dale Murphy told me about a month ago, he said this might be the best job that Brian Snitker has done as a manager, just keeping this team afloat, keeping them moving forward, not feeling sorry for themselves. And I don't disagree with Murph. I think the job that he has done, it all starts at the top. The coaching staff, the front office, putting him in a position to be here. And again, hey, it's a whole new season. Everybody's 0-0 starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, so many challenges. There's no doubt about that. And it's you go through a season with that many challenges, it'd be so easy to say, well, it just wasn't our year and make excuses. But that team didn't want to do that, and they found a way, and they get into the postseason. Back to your point about the Royals and the Mets both celebrating in this ballpark here in the last few days. They both are doing it after losses. Right. Of course, the Mets clinched that. They would have partied before Game 1 of the doubleheader, after Game 1 of the doubleheader if they could have. Obviously, the league said that should not take place with another ball game coming up, but it is kind of funny to think about. But for the Braves, it's on to the postseason now. And we're going to turn this thing around and go right into San Diego, a place where the Braves played a pretty good brand of baseball right before the All-Star break. I don't know about you, Kev, but that feels like it was forever ago. But they went into San Diego, played much better baseball against the Padres there than the series here much earlier in the season. That was not a good season, or series, I should say, earlier in the season for the Braves. It's a Padres team that really checks all the boxes. I think as far as non-division winners, that's probably the best team out there, and I think they might be even better than some division winners. Starting pitching, check that box. They've got good relievers. They've got a very potent lineup. and guys who have done it before. They've been in the postseason last few seasons, went to the NLCS a couple of years ago. So I'm excited for it. I know Braves country is as well. And sure, like we said, it's a tough draw, but I'll take a tough draw over no draw and can't wait for all the festivities tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. And Ben, Petco Park has really turned into quite an atmosphere. I remember going there all the years when they weren't a very good team, and obviously, you looked around and there was a lot of empty seats, not a lot of energy. But boy, you look at that team now. I know Philly was certainly a hostile environment to play in the last couple of postseasons. San Diego, that place is going to be rocking, man. For all the people that talk about how laid back it is in Southern California, boy, that place is going to be jammed, and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere for baseball starting tomorrow night.
It is. Cannot wait, man. Excited for the pregame show tomorrow. You and Domino, I know you're going to have everybody ready on the Braves Radio Network, and then hopefully for your postgame show, you're wrapping up a Game 1 win tomorrow night. The party is coming to a close. I think the oh yeah moment has settled in. Oh yeah, we got to pack and get out of here. I think we're leaving, heading to the airport in about an hour, a little bit over an hour from now is when the bus is. So, brother, I'm going to turn it over to you. You and the entire crew there have done a wonderful job all season, and looking forward to you continuing that work into the postseason. Great job.
Ben, I hope we got about another 4 weeks left. How's that sound for you?
You got a deal.
All right. Well, listen, they got to gas up the bird. They got to punch that thing. It is headed to sunny Southern California for the postseason. It'll be the Braves and the Padres best of 3 wild card series. And, of course, safe travels to you, Joe, and the crew. And, of course, Jonathan Chadwick. He's got boxes to pack. He's got to get to the bus. We don't want to make sure we don't hold any of those proceedings up. In the meantime, we'll have a full recap of today's clincher coming up on the Hyundai Postgame Show. We'll run you back through the highlights in our next segment. Of course, we'll continue getting more reaction from inside the clubhouse and tell you more about the Friars best of 3 series. No time to waste. 25 hours from now. Quick turnaround, as it'll be a cross-country flight for the Braves here in a few hours. Folks, I do want to remind you that Ken Nugent and the Atlanta Braves have once again teamed up, and they're giving back to Georgia's first responders. Now, Ken is donating $500 per series to an ambulance driver, firefighter, paramedic, or EMT. And if you'd like to nominate your local hero, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter. Winners are announced after each series and each Monday. That's during the Tom Glavine Show on 680 The Fan in Atlanta at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, when we return, like I promised, more reaction from the clubhouse. That plus a look ahead at the Wild Card Series as we continue with the Hyundai Postgame Show right after this on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
With fall savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,600 off select appliances from top brands like GE Profile. Save space and time with the new combo washer and dryer and do-it-all-in-one machine. And with Smart Dispense technology, the right amount of detergent is automatically added to every wash. Laundry day is a whole lot smarter with the GE Profile Ultra Fast Combo with Smart Dispense only at the Home Depot. Right now, save up to $1,600 on select appliances with fall savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid September 26th through October 16th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
When you're looking for leading cardiac care, look to Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with 95% patient recommendations. You could say we're #1 in the heart of Georgia. We lead with 100 dedicated cardiovascular doctors, so you'll know your heart is in the best hands. We lead with compassion, because you are at the heart of our care. Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with heart.
Hey Braves fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/network management.
The original Louisiana brand hot sauce is the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. Aggressive enough to wake up your taste buds without overpowering your meal. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce, flavor favors the bold.
From cozy acoustic mixes to football tailgate anthems, back to school study beats, live sports, and more.
Deep left field, way back, it's gone, goodbye.
Find the perfect sweater weather soundtrack to warm you up this autumn. And spice up any moment with a hand-picked audio collection on the SiriusXM app. Just search Fall.
A new year in the NBA is right around the corner, and NBA Radio has you covered.
Tatum muscles it up and scoring the foul.
Our experts are breaking down the entire league.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
And bringing you inside the locker room.
It is a must-win game.
Basketball season is just weeks away, and your 24/7 home for hoops is SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
UA72.org.
You're locked into the Hyundai Postgame Show on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, presented by your local Hyundai dealer.
Celebration is on at Truist Park. The Braves headed to the postseason for the 7th straight year. They do it with a 3-0 win over the Mets here today. They split the doubleheader. Both Atlanta and New York are in. Arizona is out. And, of course, Braves are headed to Southern California for a wild card matchup with the Padres. More on that coming up in just a little while. In the meantime, we want to run you back through the highlights from today's win in the event that you missed any of the action from the nightcap here today, as it was Joey Lucchesi, the veteran lefty, taking on Grant Holmes. Of course, Holmes starting in place of the injured Chris Sale, who's dealing with a back issue. And, of course, this was game 162 of the regular season. Braves needed a win to get in, a loss, and their season was done. For Grant Holmes, he got off to a great start. Matter of fact, it was 6 up, 6 down through the first 2 innings. Struck out 4 of the first 6 batters he faced. So we'll pick up the action in a scoreless contest in the bottom of the second as Jorge Soler led things off with a ringing double to right. And 2 batters later, Gio Urshela was looking to chase him home.
1-1 pitch. Swung on and looped out towards left center field. May splash in. It will. 1-0 Braves on the base hit by Gio Urshela. Got a cutter that time, fought it off, and looped it over the infield. And Gio Urshela continues to find a way. He's had a hot bat lately, and it's 1-0 Braves.
And for Urshela, it's his 52nd RBI of the year. Braves have a 1-0 lead into the 3rd inning. For Grant Holmes, it was another 3 up, 3 down frame with 2 more strikeouts. Matter of fact, it was 9 up, 9 down to start the ball game. He struck out 6 of the first 9 Mets batters he faced. So into the 4th inning we go. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Braves. Top of the order due up for New York. And after Luis Angel Acuna flew out to right, Jose Iglesias followed with a fly out to Jorge Soler in right field. And Brandon Nimmo was climbing in. More importantly, Grant Holmes was looking for another 1-2-3 inning.
Right-hander from Conway, South Carolina, brings the 2-2. Struck him out. Good curve. Another perfect inning for Grant Holmes. 12 up and 12 down with 7 strikeouts for Grant.
And for Holmes, 12 up, 12 down to start the ball game through 4 perfect innings. Again, it's still just a 1-0 lead for the Braves into the bottom of the 4th. Atlanta could not capitalize on back-to-back one-out walks from Ramon Laureano and Gio Urshela as Sean Murphy flew out and Orlando Arcia grounded out. So it's still Braves by the slimmest of margins into the 5th inning as it was 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Metropolitans. And after Pete Alonso singled to start the inning, Starling Marte followed with a walk. That also brought Brian Snitker out of the dugout, and he was going to the bullpen, bringing on Daysbel Hernandez. Hernandez inheriting a pickle here, but the good news is he punched out Tyrone Taylor for out number 1. Then after he rung up Harrison Bader for out number 2, he was looking to get through that unscathed, but he had to get past Luis Torrens first.
Ground ball sent to third. Urshela's got it. He'll run to the bag himself, step on third, and that'll end the inning. Excellent job by Hernandez. He leaves the runners at first and second. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Braves still up 1-0.
He also preserves a scoreless outing for Grant Holmes, who went 4 innings, allowed just 1 hit with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. So again, it's still just a 1-0 lead for the Braves as Joey Lucchesi's night would come to an end. He was outstanding for the Mets. Haven't seen Lucchesi a whole lot this year. He went 6 innings, allowed a run on 3 hits, worked around 4 walks, and struck out 5. As the Mets go to the bullpen, they bring on the hard-throwing writer Huáscar Brazoban, and he would walk Sean Murphy to lead off the inning. Then Then after he punched out Orlando Arcia and got Michael Harris to pop out, an E1 two-base error put 2 on with 2 gone, and the Big Bear looking to tack on to the lead.
Big opportunity here. Pitch all the way to Ozuna, and he lashes one into left field. A base hit. That'll drive in 2 runs. Ozuna busts out in a big way. 3-0 Braves. Enormous lift for the Braves by Marcell Ozuna. RBIs 103 and 104 on the year for Marcell. And jumped on that first pitch and makes him pay for the error.
So once again, it was Marcell Ozuna coming up clutch with 2 down in the inning. He has been outstanding in those situations all year long. He ends the regular season with 104 RBI on the season. More importantly, it's 2 big runs for the Braves. They lead 3-0 into the 8th. And for Joe Jimenez, who had a rocky game 1, well, he had a 1-2-3-8. So we move along now to the 9th. Braves are 3 outs away from punching their postseason ticket, and they're calling upon Raisel Iglesias to end the ball game here. And after a base hit to start the game from Jose Iglesias, a 4-6-3 double play from Brandon Nimmo meant that Pete Alonso was representing New York's last hope.
Pitch on the way. Alonso chops one to short. Arcia's got it. Over to first. Braves win. It was do or die in game 162, and the Braves said, we're not dying today. And for the 7th year in a row, the Braves are going to the postseason. They've got a date tomorrow night in San Diego, California, in game 1 of the wild card series against the Padres. This team has overcome so much adversity this season, injury after injury, and yet they have arrived at 89 wins, and that's just enough to push them past the Diamondbacks, who are eliminated, and get the Braves into the postseason here in 2024. And they do it in shutout fashion, 3-0 over the Mets. They'll celebrate, they'll spray champagne, and then we'll be airborne heading out west to see the Padres.
For the Braves, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 7 runners on. For the Mets, no runs on just 3 hits. They make an error and strand 4. Daysbel Hernandez picks up the win. He is now 3-0 on the season. Loss goes to Joey Lucchesi. He falls to 0-2. As Raisel Iglesias picks up his 34th save of the season with a 1-2-3 9th. Time of game, 2 hours, 14 minutes, and another sellout crowd, 41,561. Going home, and they're celebrating in the Battery Atlanta here tonight. Braves going to the playoffs for the 7th straight year. Braves end up the regular season, by the way, with 17 shutouts. That is the most in all of Major League Baseball. All right, when we return, we'll get more reaction from inside the clubhouse as the Braves continue to celebrate and get ready for the Padres. That plus more on the other side, right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease at Tucson for $199 a month, or get 1.99% APR for 60 months, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. Offers end September 30th. Call 813-867-0006 for complete offer details.
Nothing matches the drive of Braves country. From the energy of the crowd to our passion for the open road. That's why Napa has all your automotive bases covered with the solutions you need to keep moving. With nearly 6,000 auto parts stores and over 17,000 auto care centers nationwide, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care. And as a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves, we're here to make sure that drive never stops. Napa!
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
To truly go inside the game of pro football, you need to see things from the player's perspective.
Let's go.
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, catch the Players' Point.
Let's go, let's bring energy.
Join NFL tight end Colin Thompson and Miami Dolphins fullback Alec Ingold as they break down the biggest stories in the NFL.
It's an encouraging way to look at football.
The Players' Point. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio, Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Hello, Braves fans. I'm Jake Mastriani, host of your daily Atlanta Braves podcast, Locked On Braves, a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Braves brings you the latest Braves news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Braves is everything a Braves fan could want, all in a 30-minute daily podcast. So join me and download Locked On Braves right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
If you missed any of the Braves action, the Hyundai Postgame Show has you covered. This is the Hyundai Postgame Show, presented by your local Hyundai dealer. Now more postgame coverage on the Braves Radio Network.
Celebration continues inside the Braves clubhouse. It's actually spilled out onto the field a little bit, and this is kind of interesting. Both Braves and Mets players are out there celebrating and congratulating each other as they split the doubleheader. Braves drop Game 1 in heartbreaking fashion, 8-7. They come back and take the nightcap 3-0. So again, Braves are headed to San Diego. Mets, they're going right back where they came from, up to Milwaukee for 3 with the Brewers. That also starts here tomorrow. And of course, the playoff picture now complete. We do know the Braves are punching their ticket for the 7th straight year. And quick turnaround. We got a little under 24 hours till Game 1 against the Padres. We still don't know how the Braves pitching staff will line things up, but the good news is they've got a 4.5-hour flight to figure it all out. All right, let's take you back across the street as we get more reaction from the clubhouse, and we're going to hear from Matt Olson here as he spoke to the media just moments ago.
There's going to be enough adrenaline to go around for everybody. It's playoff baseball is why you do 162. It's the prize. You go out and you play meaningful baseball. To have a chance to win a World Series, we ain't worried about 18 today and a flight. We're going to go play.
And the roadblocks you guys went through, how much did it keep you going? Just the fact that you guys do all love each other in here, and just the enjoyment of spending time with this group.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of clubhouses could kind of shut down with the stuff that we were going through, the kind of ball we were playing. But we got a bunch of guys who have been in here and who have won and knows what it takes. You can't just drag your blanket around and feel sorry for yourself. You got to find a way to move on and get a win. Like I said, it wasn't the cleanest year for us, but we got in. Took us 162, but we got in there and we're ready to roll.
What was this last day like? Just the emotion, you're already playing a day after everybody else is done. A doubleheader.
Yeah,
and all the way it played out.
Obviously stuff you're not accustomed to seeing. We really, you don't think about it too much. You're just focused on, getting into postseason and winning. So whatever it would have took, if we had to play 4 games today, we would have done it. And we got in.
Was it almost a perfect way to end this? I mean, you guys, your ace goes down and Grant Holmes steps up on short notice. That's kind of the way this whole season's gone. Guys filling in for other guys, surpassing expectations.
Yeah, can't say enough about what Holmes did, being able to come out and get that start that he had. On short notice through 2 days ago. He threw 2 innings 2 days ago. 5 innings coming out. Stuff was crisp. Lope coming in, inning out of the pen. JJ Iggy, after giving up a couple runs in the 8th and 9th first game, coming out, putting up zeros. I mean, it's just a testament to the group we got here.
It looks like Ozzie is starting to get a little more comfortable now with the right on right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hitting from the side you normally hit on and missing a month and a half or whatever it was and coming back, facing big league pitching, no rehab, or I guess you do rehab time, but coming back and facing, trying to get back in a groove is hard enough, let alone flipping around and seeing some pitches you haven't seen. So, I mean, what he did in the first game was incredible. Gave us a shot, I mean, that guy's a grinder. He could hit any kind of pitch, any location, anywhere. He's a special player, and he just shows how bad he wanted to be back out there. He could have waited to feel good lefty. He could have said no to flipping around, but that's how important it is to him.
Now, what did it mean to you to have the crowd come out in force like it did today on a Monday for this doubleheader?
Yeah, it was good. We needed the crowd. It was got pretty loud there in the first game when Ozzie hit that double. Braves country's always been good to us, always showing out, and just glad we got it done.
You ever been a part of something like that game one of the doubleheader today? That was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen, honestly.
That was a heavyweight fight, back and forth. They had some big hits and some big moments. Hats off to them for pulling that game out. Obviously, we'd have liked to get it done in that first one, but they earned it in that game. They did. They had some big hits. It was a good game. Be able to come out and get it done when we needed to. Must-win game was nice.
Well, there's Matt Olson following today's 3-0 clinching win for the Braves. Took them to game 162, but as we've heard from everybody down there, just got to find a way to get in. It is a new season. Everybody's 0-0 starting tomorrow night. Well, we've seen a lot of Eli White here lately, and let's now hear from Eli as he spoke about today's win. Obviously, one of the newer faces in that Braves clubhouse, and just a short time ago, he was speaking with reporters down in the celebration in the clubhouse.
Just describe your emotions in the first place to be in the celebration with this team, where you started the year in AAA Gwinnett, to be part of this celebration with this team. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's special. Growing up in South Carolina and being a Braves fan my whole life is something that's really surreal right now, just getting to experience this, and just super blessed and thankful to be in this position. And it's surreal. It's hard to put into words. It's kind of what you always dream of as a kid. So I'm really excited for this opportunity.
Another guy living out his dream, Grant Holmes, got the spot start today. Really didn't expect to go until essentially this afternoon. Could you tell me what it meant to this team and to you especially to be his teammate, to see him get his debut, and to pitch in the biggest game of the season like he did?
Yeah, it was huge. And, Grant's a stud. Been seeing that since Gwinnett last year, getting to be his teammate. So I'm super happy and thankful for, what he's been able to do. And it's cool to get to be his teammate the past 2 years and get to see him do what he did today. So it was huge for the team. And, it really kept us in that ball game and got us going there.
That first game, the emotional swings of being ahead, being behind, coming back. Have you experienced a game like that before in that setting with those stakes in your life?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, that was a whirlwind of emotions for sure. Just being up, being down, and all the stakes that were on the line. So we knew we had to rally and come back in that second game, and we were able to get the job done. So just thankful for that.
This team has been favored so many times going into the playoffs over the last couple years. Now you guys kind of develop a little bit more of an underdog mentality. Do you take pride in that, of just getting in the dance and having a shot and potentially being dangerous here in October?
Yeah, we've been playing really good baseball lately. We've been swinging the bats and putting some runs on the board, and starting pitching and bullpen's been amazing all year. So yeah, we feel like we can compete with anybody, and all you got to do is get your foot in the door, and that's what we've done. And we're looking forward to playing some good baseball.
This opportunity that you guys have in the postseason wouldn't have been done without contributions with people like yourself that didn't start the season here but made their way up, made key contributions. What was it like being in a clubhouse like this, where it could have been anyone on any particular day to bring home a victory?
Yeah, this is a special place, and being a guy that started in Gwinnett and coming up and down, and I was treated like family of the team right away, and so this is good camaraderie, good team chemistry here, and it's next man up. That's the mentality. So we've got a lot of good players on this team and a lot of guys that can get the job done. So it's an exciting team to be on.
Well, there's Eli White following today's 3-0 win, celebrating inside the Braves clubhouse. Obviously, getting a chance to do so with a couple of his teammates from Gwinnett, including Grant Holmes, who was outstanding today. Starting in place of the injured Chris Sale, he went 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Speaking of Holmes, we'll hear from him on the other side. And before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're locked into the Atlanta Braves.
After Game 2 of the doubleheader, join us on MLB Network Radio as we break down the postseason field on Sirius XM 89 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
All right, when we return, we'll get more reaction from the clubhouse. We'll hear from tonight's starter, Grant Holmes. That plus a look ahead at the Padres as we wrap up the Hyundai Postgame Show. Coming up next on the Braves Radio Network.
When you're looking for leading cardiac treatment, look to Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with 5 emergency cardiac care centers, so we're here when you need us most. We lead with more than 55 locations in Georgia. That means we're always in the heart of your neighborhood. We lead with clarity, because clear direction is better when it comes to understanding every step of your treatment. Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with heart.
With fall savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,600 off select appliances from top brands like Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Wash and dry in one cycle with the Samsung Ultra Capacity All-in-One Washer-Dryer Combo from the Home Depot. And get laundry day done faster, running a super speed load in just 98 minutes. Right now, shop fall savings for up to $1,600 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about September 26th through October 16th. U.S. only. See store online for details. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details.
Hey Braves fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit Xfinity.com/network management.
I'm Cortland spokespug Cordy. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland. Visit Cortland.com to find your new apartment or one of our next level communities. Go Braves!
A new generation of hip-hop superstars was born on SoundCloud.
What's up? This is Cash Cobain. It's Lil Tyler. This is doing oh baby.
Stay connected to what's popping online. Now.
Let's get it.
With the Sirius XM channel, where new hip-hop is always on. SoundCloud Radio.
Yeah! Clear the runway, because we about to take off on SoundCloud Radio.
Listen in the car or at home with your Sirius XM app.
For the latest updates on Helene, tune to alerts from the Weather Channel. What to expect and who may be impacted.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori. When severe weather is impacting any part of the country, alerts from the Weather Channel for live simulcast of the Weather Channel for the latest information to keep you safe and informed.
Tune to alerts from the Weather Channel for the latest information on Helene.
Whenever active weather is breaking, alerts from the Weather Channel on the SiriusXM app. Just search weather.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
I think there's value there on Austin Eckler in PPR formats.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Only see store online for details.
You're locked into the Hyundai Postgame Show on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Driven by your local Hyundai dealer, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves.
Braves are getting ready to jump on the bird. The season continues as they are headed to the playoffs for the 7th straight year, thanks to a 3-0 win over the Mets here tonight. For Grant Holmes, he was starting in place of a banged-up Chris Sale, and boy, you wouldn't know it by watching what he did here tonight. 3 up, 3 down in the first, second, and third. Matter of fact, he retired the first 11 batters he faced and struck out 7 of the first 12. For Holmes, he goes 4 innings, allows a run with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts, and here he is talking about his performance and his team's big win here tonight.
How you feeling, man? This was an opportunity you waited a long time for, 10 years to get. Then this is an opportunity you got on short notice. Yeah. So can you describe the emotions of when you found out you were going to get the start and what your emotions were?
You know, like I said to those guys, I had enough time to sit down, go use the bathroom, and come sit down again. And then Cranny was out my locker telling me I was going to start this next game.
How much do you feel like those 10 years really prepared you for something like today? It's not like you can prepare for the scenario that transcribed, but how much can those 10 years in the minors really help you?
You know, it's helps you be a grinder. You know, it's other than that, you know, it's hard to prepare for these kind of moments, but you know, the 10 years it helps a little bit, and super grateful for this opportunity.
You seem kind of cool, calm, and collected all the time. So what was going through your head whenever they say, "Hey, you're getting the ball, Chris Sale's not going out there"?
You know, I let myself be nervous for a little bit, and when I got out there to warm up, I was like, it's time to go to work, and time to give him as many innings as I can.
And you did. And if you're not nervous, you don't care. So I like that you said that. Yep. You know, it's not about who gets into the postseason, it's what you can do in the postseason. You guys have an opportunity now. How can this team make some noise?
You know, just continue to be us, and out to out, and, you know, at bat to at bat, and just play the best we can, and, you know, just have fun.
That hair soaking up all the champagne?
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What does it mean to you for Snicker to trust you when Chris Sale goes down? Like, you're the first person he thinks of to say, okay, I want you to start the most important game of our season.
You know, it's awesome. You know, I'm grateful to have had that opportunity to do what I did, and I'm just super grateful we came out with a W.
And you said you didn't really have time to prepare. Like, what did you go, like? Did you just go straight to the bullpen, or like what was kind of the process?
I went straight to the bullpen since I threw earlier today. So I just got right off the mound and fired some pitches and got warm and went down to the dugout.
It's going to be a short turnaround for you guys, traveling across the country to play San Diego. Are you guys going to be ready on that short turnaround?
Absolutely, we're always ready. So we'll be good.
All right, thanks, Brent.
Thank you. Feel like the short turnaround helped you kind of manage the nerves a little bit, that you just knew that you were going to have to shotgun and go out there and throw as long as you could?
Absolutely. You know, it's just, you know, going out there and doing what I did in short notice. I think it helped me. And you know, it's just like I told them, I'm super excited we got that W.
I talked to Eli White. He was your teammate in Gwinnett. He's your teammate here celebrating with you today. He talked about growing up as a Braves fan, how much of a dream come true it is to put the Braves in the postseason. You're a big part of that as well. We talked earlier in June when you made your debut about how much of a dream come true that is. How much of this has really set in this year, that you're living your dream now after so many years?
It's still pretty surreal. It's hard to believe, you know, at some moments, you know. And like I've said, it's just, I'm super grateful, you know. I'm super blessed, you know. It's honestly a dream come true.
What is it about this clubhouse that gives you faith that you guys aren't done yet?
You know, it's a great group of guys. We don't ever quit, and we come to the ball field and expect to win every day, so that's what we're going to do.
All right, Grant Holmes, you're head of the postseason, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There is Grant Holmes as the celebration continued inside the Braves clubhouse here tonight. As Atlanta takes down New York 3-0, they split the doubleheader. And oh, by the way, tip of the cap to the fans who not only came out today but all season long. Braves pushed over 3 million in attendance here today, and they've done that for the 3rd consecutive season. So job well done, Braves country. You showed up all year long. I know it was a trying season, a lot of hurdles to overcome come for this team, and here they are going to the playoffs once again. And who could have thought that even just a couple of weeks ago? Braves did hit a couple of homers here today, and folks, you know what that means. Every homer matters a whole lot more this time of year. And Tire Discounters now saves Braves fans $150 off of select tires when the Braves hit a home run. Plus, you'll get a free alignment and free oil change the next day only at Tire Discounters. So visit tirediscounters.com/Braves for more details. Well, the celebration's wrapping up. Braves got to get to the airport. They got to get on the Delta Bird, point that thing towards beautiful San Diego, California. It is a best-of-3 wild card situation starting tomorrow night, a little over 24 hours from now. A matter of fact, Domino and I will kick off your coverage with the Ford Leadoff Show at 7:20 Eastern. First pitch from Petco Park at 8:38 Eastern, 7:38 Central, with Ben, Joe, and Jay Chad live from the Visitors Radio booth at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Big thanks, as always, to our crew. We appreciate Jack Johnson getting us all of our audio from inside the clubhouse. Also, for Isaiah Stewart, Chris Colwell, and Cullen Madden, Kevin McAlpin here saying so long and good evening from Atlanta, where it's the Braves going to the playoffs for the 7th straight year. And, of course, you heard all the action of tonight's clincher right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Hyundai Postgame Show. Driven by your local Hyundai dealer, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. This broadcast of Atlanta Braves baseball is an exclusive presentation of the Atlanta Braves, Dickey Broadcasting Company, and Major League Baseball. Any use of the accounts, descriptions, and audio of today's game without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves Major League Baseball Club and Dickey Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. On behalf of everyone at the Braves Radio Network, we thank you for supporting Atlanta Braves baseball right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
This has been Major League Baseball play-by-play on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game. Calling this game. Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game! It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet. Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day. It is Bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top. There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center.
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made the play.
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
High fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Until the cleats hit the grass, hit the crushed brick, and then nothing but sky and a silent crowd. That ball's high. Until leather hits leather and 40,000 fans lose their collective minds.
In a perfect symphony of chaos.
He jumped up on top of the wall, balanced himself, and caught it. The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
The way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
The ball, a bat, and a microphone. But no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck it out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series. The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on SiriusXM.
All rise. Coming in 5.
Get ready to play. 4.
Get up! Get up!
3.
Can you believe it?
Put your seatbelt on.
Wow.
Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
And it's just remarkable. There's no situation he hasn't been in. So I feel like there's no situation that can faze him, and it is so fun to watch. I wish I could watch him throw 9 innings every day, because I think he's a fun guy to watch pitch. But